Welcome to NYTEX Sports Centre, where tonight should be a fun matchup between the Amarillo Wranglers and the Lone Star Brahmas. We're deep in the heart of Brahma land, hot outside, going to get hot here on the ice, as tempers will certainly flare, as they always do, between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. Hi everyone, I'm Guy Chiarenza, bringing you all the action here tonight on NAHL TV and our YouTube audio stream. And as I said before, it should be a very fun one, very interesting matchup that we've got here tonight between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the pregame, but first let's recap what the Wranglers did last weekend against Corpus Christi, a little bit of the NHL showcase, where the Wranglers stand right now heading into tonight's matchup. So, the Wranglers come in with a record of 4-2. Went 3-1 at the NHL showcase, got the split 1-1 last weekend in the home opener against Corpus Christi. And just a massive explosion of goals against the Ice Rays. I mean, who would have thought? And of course, Ryan Anderson's coaching style is tailored a little bit more towards defense than anything else. And so I don't think even he could have predicted the offensive explosion that we saw in those games against the Ice Rays. First one on Friday was a 5-4 shootout win. Wranglers winning that game in the shootout thanks to Connor McNaughton, giving the Wranglers the edge in the third frame of the shootout. And then the next day on Saturday, everything just broke loose. Ice Rays came away and won 8-5 in just an offensive shootout. There were a lot to like about the Wranglers' offensive game in that loss that they can take heading forward into the rest of the season. And so, of course, when you talk about offense, you obviously have to look to the Wranglers' first line. And they just seem to be firing on all cylinders right now. Everything is clicking for these guys. I mean, you look towards offense for the Wranglers, I mean, chances are, if a goal is scored, number 93, 4, or 6 are going to be a part of it. Number 93, Jack McDonald, had himself a weekend last weekend. Ben Ivey, in the 8-5 loss, had 2 goals, 2 assists, 4-point game. That's just Ben doing Ben things. And then his brother Jack Ivey has been phenomenal. He's on a 5-game goal streak, 6 goals in that span. And, of course, he was named the NHL South Division Star of the Week. I mean, he's just been having himself a ball this season. I mean, look at these stats from Jack Ivey so far this season. 6 games played, 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 points. 4 of those goals coming on the power play. I mean, he's just been phenomenal. You really can't ask for much more out of your stars. Speaking of a star in the making, the fantastic Finn, the man from overseas, number 17, Topi Puikkonen, is having himself a great start to the season. He also has 11 points, but he's got 5 goals, 6 assists. So just flip the stats of Jack, and you basically got the stat line of Topi Puikkonen. Speaking of Topi Puikkonen, I mean, just to put his start of the season into perspective here, he is on a 6-game point streak. The Wranglers have only played 6 games. So all of his points have been scored from the beginning of the season until now. I mean, you want to talk about just finding your rhythm right off the bat. That's exactly what he's done, and I can't imagine it was easy for him. I mean, he's making it look easy, but can't imagine it was easy for him to just come from Finland, come all the way over to America, and just click just like that, but that's exactly what he's doing. And because of that, the Wranglers are firing on offense. Of course, Ryan Anderson would like them to shore up defensively, but, I mean, as it stands, the offense is clicking for the Wranglers. Roman Zapp leads the club in assists. He has 7 of those. He also has 8 points on the year. That's another guy to watch out for the Wranglers. Wranglers did a little bit of line shuffling. We'll get to that when we announce the starting lineups later on in the pregame show. But, I mean, when you think about the Lone Star Brahmas and the Amarillo Wranglers, the big story, the big talking point coming into this season was head coach Ryan Anderson, who used to work for the Lone Star Brahmas as an associate coach. He's now the head coach of the Amarillo Wranglers. And so the guy next to him on the bench, or I guess on the opposing bench, is his former colleague, Dan Wildfong, the head coach of the Lone Star Brahmas. This will be the first time that these two go head-to-head in the regular season. They saw each other in the preseason, but that's different. It's not the same thing. This will be the first time that they go head-to-head in a regular season matchup. And so we'll have to see, will it be the mentor or the student that will come away with the win? We'll have to see. But when former head coach Harry Mahood transitioned to his new role as president of hockey operations and GM, Ryan Anderson came in and took over as the team's new head coach, the second in franchise history. Connor Yanni was named as his assistant coach. So it's both of their first year behind the bench for the Wranglers, but, I mean, Ryan Anderson has just got a fabulous track record. I mean, he was previously the associate head coach of the Lone Star Brahmas. He's also general manager and coach of the NA3HL's Texas Brahmas. And speaking with him earlier this week, he spent about 5 years of his life here. He calls his place home. He's got family here. He posted a record of 74-13 and won the Fraser Cup Championship with Texas of the NA3HL as their head coach. And, oh, by the way, he's also named NA3HL Coach of the Year. So, I mean, he's just got an impressive track record here with the Brahmas. And I'm sure there's going to be emotions for him being behind the bench, but talking to him in our weekly sit-down, you can catch that interview on our YouTube channel. Just talking with him in our weekly sit-down, you know, he kind of downplayed the emotions. I mean, he acknowledged it, but he also knows that it's a business trip. The Wranglers are coming down here to win, and he can't let his emotions get the best of him in this game. And that's just Ryan Anderson for you. Just business as usual. Just always has a plan in place. And so it'll be interesting to see what kind of plan he has coming into this game. As, I mean, it's going to be an interesting matchup because, I mean, there's so much familiarity between both sides in this game with Dan Wildfong and Ryan Anderson. It's going to become a bit of a chess match, I believe, throughout these next two games here at NYTEX because, I mean, Wildfong obviously taught Anderson a few things. Anderson learned a few things from Wildfong. I mean, Anderson probably knows what Wildfong might come out with. And Wildfong probably knows what Anderson might come out with in terms of schemes. So it'll be interesting to see the first maybe 10 minutes or even the first period of this game to see what we get here because I think we're going to see a bit of a feeling out process just to see what each guy throws at the other, just to see if there's any changes as to what they may expect coming into this game. And then later on, I think whoever does the better job of adapting and getting their team geared to changing their flow as the game goes on, I think that is the guy that's going to come away with the win here tonight and tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out, but one thing is for certain. It's going to be a fun night here in Brahma land. When we come back, we'll announce the starting lineups, and we'll look forward a little bit more to tonight's matchup.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX. Guy Chiarenza here, bringing you the action from NAHL TV and our new YouTube audio stream. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us tonight. We know there's lots of sports and entertainment options out there, and we appreciate you choosing us here this evening. Wranglers and Brahmas, first regular season meeting this season. The Wranglers got their first taste of South Division action last weekend when they took on Corpus Christi, got the 1-1 split. But I mean, this is a Brahmas team that, and not to discredit Corpus Christi, they're obviously much improved from what they were last season, but this is a Brahmas team that's, I think, going to be a little bit more grittier and a little bit more of a test for this Wranglers team that seems to be rolling quite well into the start of the season. I mean, 4-2 record, performed quite well to showcase when all eyes were on them, going 3-1 there. They're 4-2. They got a +4 goal differential, so, I mean, they're looking quite well. The other thing is they've played the least amount of games in the South Division up until this point. I mean, 4-2, they've only played 6 games. I mean, look at the Lone Star Brahmas, on the other hand. They're 5-4-0-1. They've already played 10 games. They're about to play their 11th here tonight. They have a +3 goal differential. But, I mean, you want to talk about Ryan Anderson and Dan Wildfong, all you got to do is look at the goal differential. I mean, these are two guys that really kind of pride themselves in having defensive schemes. Well, the goal differential, +4 for the Wranglers, +3 for the Brahmas. But, I mean, look at this. They both got 24 goals for. Wranglers have 20 goals against, and the Brahmas have 21 goals against. I mean, it's almost identical. So I really think we're going to see a bit of a coaching chess match here tonight. Welcome to our viewers on NAHL TV. Guy Chiarenza here, bringing you the action from NYTEX Sports Centre in North Richland Hills, Texas. It's going to be a fun matchup here tonight between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. As I was just mentioning to our YouTube crowd, I thought we were live on NHL TV before, but if we weren't already, thank you for joining us. The Wranglers come into the matchup with a 4-2 record. They've only played 6 games. That's the lowest amount of anybody in the South Division. Lone Star Brahmas come in with a record of 5-4-0-1. They've got 11 points. They currently sit at second in the South, although, you know, you really can't look at the standings this early in the season, and here's why. So you go to the South Division standings, and you see, oh, the Colorado Grit are number 1. Well, the Colorado Grit have played 11 games. They've got the weekend off. The 11 games played for the Grit are the most out of any team in the league. They're 5-5-0-1, and they've got a -8 goal differential, and they're below 500. The only reason they're at the top is because they've played so many games. Now, the Wranglers, on the other hand, currently sit at 7th if you're just ranking it off of points. They've got 8 points. The Brahmas, in terms of points, are tied for first, but if you go to points percentage, the Wranglers are right in the mix. So, I mean, you really can't look at the standings at this point in the season. I mean, you can, but it's still a little bit too early, although we're approaching, at least for the Brahmas, they're already about a sixth of the way into the season. Wranglers aren't even close to that yet, so there's still a lot of time and a lot of hockey left to be played. So, I mean, just a little bit misleading if you're looking at the division, the standings so far, and saying, well, you know, look at this team, maybe they're not that good. It's really way too early to tell, which is exactly why you need to tune into the games on NAHL TV. You can watch every single team in the league if you get a subscription package, or you can buy whatever game you want. You get single game packages are available. That's why you just got to watch these teams around the league, because you really don't know until about Christmas. That's what I always say. So you really don't know who's who, who's real, who's legit until about after Christmas time. So about the turn of the calendar year is when you can really start to tell who's legit and who's probably going to fall off and not make the playoffs. So a lot of hockey left to be played, but back to our matchup here tonight. It's kind of just straight off onto a tangent. Wranglers and the Brahmas. The Brahmas are one of those teams where it seems like no matter what the year is, no matter who's out on the ice, who's behind the bench, they always seem to have a competitive team. They're always going to be right in the playoff mix. The Wranglers, they were a playoff team last year. They're looking to improve on that. The morale in the locker room is good. These guys believe that they have a chance to not only make the playoffs, but go far in them. They're already getting scoring across the board. They just figure that they can shore up defensively after having a rough weekend on the defensive front against Corpus Christi, and they should be in good shape to make a good run at the season. So, for the Wranglers, let's get to the starting lineup. Wranglers are the visitors. Starting for the Wranglers will be that top forward line of number 93, Jack McDonald, number 4, Ben Ivey, and on the right wing, number 6, Jack Ivey. On defense, it'll be number 16, Colin Doherty on the left side, number 19, Nolan Gagnon on the right. And in goal, it's going to be number 1, Connor McDonough, who still has not lost a game as the Wranglers starter. He's 3-0 to start the year, got a 1.98 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. He's been stellar. See if he can keep it up here tonight against a tough opponent in the Lone Star Brahmas. As we mentioned before, all eyes are on head coach Ryan Anderson. He used to be the associate coach here for the Lone Star Brahmas. Also spent some time with the NA3HL's Texas Brahmas. He's now the bench boss of the Amarillo Wranglers, and it's a sweet homecoming for him as he looks to spoil the party for the Brahmas here tonight. His assistant his assistant coach is Connor Yanni. For the Brahmas, they'll also start with their forward line of Matthias Borak, number 58 on the left side. Centering that line is Ivan Zavernyuk, number 7, and on the right, it'll be Charlie Masick, who leads the team in goals with 4. On defense, they'll start with their third pairing, number 64, Alex Keston-Tepe, will be on the left side. On the right side, it'll be number 21, Bryce Ingles. In goal, it's going to be number 1, Deves Rolovs. It seems like Rolovs has really shouldered a lot of the workload for the Brahmas. I mentioned this is their 11th game coming in. This will be Rolovs' 9th game of the season. He's only gotten 2 games off. But, I mean, he's been fantastic. Look at these stats. 1.615 goals against average with a .931 save percentage. He's already got 1 shutout, and he's 5-3. So he's really had a stellar start to the season. If the Wranglers are going to have any success at putting the puck past him here tonight, it's got to be a quality scoring chance or a tip-in out in front, because you're not going to beat this guy with a plain old regular shot just based off of his stats. He's having a stellar performance and a stellar start to the season so far. Brahmas coaching staff consists of head coach and general manager Dan Wildfong. And speaking of Wranglers head coach Ryan Anderson, earlier in our weekly sit-down, you can catch that full interview on YouTube. But just sitting down with Ryan Anderson, I mean, they're still friends. Anderson and Wildfong, they still talk on a regular basis. Anderson said that, hey, yeah, when we're not playing, it's going to be all smiles. It's going to be, hey, great to see you. But once the puck drops, we're enemies. It's all business. Ryan Anderson understanding the task at hand, and certainly is going to be a fun game for him behind the bench. We'll see how the Wranglers come out and play here tonight. The assistant coach for the Brahmas is Logan Murphy, and their goalie coach is Brooks DiMarino. As both teams have come out, we are about to, they're announcing the starting lineups here in Brahma land. Coming up next is going to be the national anthem. And after that, puck drop here at NYTEX Sports Centre. As they introduce the Brahmas, out comes Ivan Zabernyuk. The entire Wranglers branch is lined up at the blue line. Out comes Charlie Masick. Out comes Matthias Borak. They told me you could say it either way, Matthias or Matthias. Chad, the broadcaster of the Brahmas, is going with Matthias, so that's what I'm going to go with as well. Bryce Ingles comes out to join his teammates on the blue line, and then ending it out is Alex Keskintepe on defense. Almost takes a spill, but he regains his balance and joins his teammates at the blue line. And coming out, the goaltender, we just talked about him before, Yves Rolovs, the Latvian goaltender, will get the start tonight for the Brahmas. Next up, the national anthem, and then puck drop from Brahma land.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
We are all set and ready to go deep in the heart of Texas. We're in Brahma land, NYTEX Sports Centre. Wranglers, Brahmas, just moments away. And this is a matchup that I've been looking forward to since the season began, just because, not only because of the coaching matchup between Ryan Anderson and Dan Wildfong, but it just seems like these two teams, we saw them in the preseason, whenever they get together, things get a little chippy. Tempers flare, and I'm interested to see how both teams handle it here tonight. As I mentioned before, in goal for the Wranglers, number 1, Connor McDonough. And it'll be a battle of ones, as across from him is Yves Rolovs. Both goaltenders having phenomenal starts to the season so far. McDonough 3-0, 1.98 goals against average, .914 save percentage. Rolovs played 8 games. He's gone 5-3. 1.61 goals against average and a .931 save percentage, and he already has a shutout on the young season. Wranglers have taken the ice. They'll start that top line with the Ivey brothers and Jack McDonald For the home Lone Star Brahmas, they'll send out their first line as well with Tyus Borak, Zavernyuk, and Masick. Masick's a guy to watch out for, as is Zavernyuk, as both guys seem to be having great starts to the season. Is in to take the draw is Zavernyuk, and he wins it. Brahmas from center ice, pitch it up ahead. They get it to Borak, who takes a shot, hits a stick, and bounces off the end boards. Chasing after it is Colin Doherty. Puck squeaks out to the far corner. McDonald will backtrack it back to Doherty, who pitches it along for Gagnon. He'll move it up to the blue line for Ivey. He turns it over. Zavernyuk, drop pass, blocked out in front. Good defensive play by Nolan Gagnon, who took a tumble as he was blocking that shot. Brahmas regroup in the neutral zone. Keskin-Tepe will move it up along the left side. Skrulovic banks it in deep. DeMarco will send it back out to neutral ice. Papastropoulos moves left side for McNaughton. He's moving with speed. Connor McNaughton shoots! And a save made by the glove of Deves Roloffs. As we have now started first period action here in Brahma land. Just 50 seconds gone off the clock. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. Hope you got some snacks and a beverage of your choice, and you're all nice and comfy from wherever you're watching or listening here this evening. This is going to be a fun one here with the Brahmas and the Wranglers. Draw will be to the right of Roloffs, and to take it for the Wranglers is McNaughton, and he wins it. Gets it to the line for DeMarco. Moves to the left point, will backhand it in. Goes past Papastropoulos to McNaughton below the goal line. Stolen away from him by Brock James. He'll move it up ahead. Left side breakout for Saxton Tex, who gets crunched along the boards by Luke Morris. Oh my goodness, he turned him into roadkill. And the Brahmas are taking offense to that. The arm is raised. Morris is going to go to the penalty box, but what a thunderous hit from the returner. Saxton Tess is still feeling the force of that hit. That's going to send the Brahmas to the power play, as Luke Morris gets 2 minutes for what I assume is going to be boarding. And so the Wrangler penalty kill will get to work. Just 1:05 off the clock to start the first period. So out to defend the penalty kill is DeMarco, the Ivey brothers, and Bryce Cooper. Power play for the Brahmas will consist of Zavernyuk, Skurovic, Murakami, Eisenberg, and Masick. Now it's interesting that they're putting this draw. It appears they're going to move it down back to the Wranglers zone where it should be. Looked like they were going to have it. No, they're still going to have it in neutral ice for the time being. It's going to be right at the Wranglers blue line. Seems like there's a bit of confusion as to what's actually going on here. Once we get a clarification, we'll let you know. But it still is a penalty to Luke Morris, 2 minutes, but they're going to keep the draw at center ice. And off that draw, Masick spin around in the neutral zone, tries to dance around Ben Ivey. That's a tall task as he gets his pocket picked, and Ben will send it down to Roloffs to kill some time. Brahmas patiently waiting from behind their own net. They'll swing it out right side with Masick. Get it back to Eisenberg. We'll drop it off for Murakami, who almost loses an edge at neutral ice. Fans want a penalty. Wranglers steal the puck away at the red line. Brahmas trying to chop it back into the Wranglers zone. Puck is up for grabs, and eventually the Wranglers will just poke it down and get a change. Left side, here's Murakami back on offense. You'll find Skurovic, who gets it to Zavernyuk. Back to Murakami near point. Goes across. Will be picked up by Atiri. Atiri, a blast! Pad save by McDonough. Puck is loose. Swept away by McNaughton, and the Wranglers get the clear. Exactly 1 minute to go on the penalty to Morris. Excellent awareness by Connor McNaughton to sweep away that puck and get the clear. Here come the Brahmas again. They'll swing it around the boards to the far side. Keeping it at the line is Atiri. He'll dump it below the goal line. Chasing after it is Gagnon. Deep in the fray is Kerr. Number 16, Justin Kerr, that is. There's two Kerrs, Justin and Owen, no relation. It's met at the near point by Borak. Slides it down low. They get it back to the line. Atiri. Across, far point, James. Back to the line for Atiri. Left side, Borak shoots off the mask of McDonough, and they immediately blow the play dead. Well, Connor McDonough using his noggin to make that save. As you can hear that clink off of his mask. Looks like he's going to be okay, but just for safety reasons, he immediately took the mask off. And as the officials are instructed to do, they blew the play dead. We've got 20 seconds to go on the penalty to Luke Morris. It'll be an offensive zone draw for the Brahmas. It'll be to McDonough's right. In to take the draw for Lone Star is Brock James. Across from him, Jack Ivey. And it'll be held in at the line by Zadvernyuk. He takes a shot. Make that Gunnar Williams. It's blocked out in front. Sealing it away is Ben Ivey. Left side, he races into the zone. Takes a shot that goes wide. Hit a stick out in front. Directed to the near corner. Through the neutral zone now. Saxton Tess gets stood up at the blue line. Helping out is Skurovic. He tries to center. It goes off the skate of Ritchie and behind the net. They'll battle for it in the corner. Comes to Ben Ivey. Looks to find Morris streaking through the neutral zone. He's fresh out of the penalty box. We're back to 5-on-5. Luke Morris into the offensive zone. Gets checked along the half wall on the far side. 3 Brahmas on him. They eventually steal the puck away. Quickly shift around the forecheck of Miller. Get it back out to neutral ice. Brahmas look to go right side. Pass is picked off by Cooper. He moves into the zone. Takes a shot. Easily sticked away by Rolovs. Comes to the near side. DeMarco from the line takes a shot. And it's deflected wide and goes off the end boards. Brahmas will pick it up and send it back out to the neutral zone, where they'll look to quickly go back on the attack. Wranglers standing him up at center ice. Puck squirts out to the stick of Kyle DeMarco. He'll go behind his net. And on the near side, find McGuire. Tries to find Miller streaking up ahead. Puck goes deep into Brahma territory. Rolls along the end wall to the far side. Wranglers try and keep it in. That's Doherty there. Puikkonen at the line, holds it in. Gets it to Gagnon. Streaking in at the circle, takes a shot. Goes up into the skates of a Brahma. Goes into the corner. Back up to the line. McGuire dishes it off for Doherty. Takes a shot from the far side. Off the post! Wranglers were just inches away from getting the first goal of the game. Brahmas dump the puck down. There'll be an icing. Draw will come back down near Rolovs. Just a little over 4.5 minutes into this game. We've already seen quite the action as the Brahmas are 0 for 1 on the power play. Wranglers penalty kill doing an excellent job. And they're going to wave off the initial icing call and move it back down by Connor McDonough. So what should have been a draw, or what would have been a draw down by Rolovs, is now a defensive zone draw for the Wranglers. Ben Ivey will take the draw. Against him is Zadvernyuk, and Zadvernyuk wins it. Masick takes a shot from between the circles. Save made by McDonough. Puck is loose. McDonough's on his backside. Where's the puck? They blow the whistle, and the Wranglers escape danger. McDonough has it. No idea how he made that save, but Connor McDonough doing some snow angels in the blue paint. Somehow finds a way to cover that puck. On a sneaky shot from Charlie Masick. This is a guy you got to watch out for. Leads the Brahmas in goals with 4. As off the ensuing draw, the Wranglers win it. Gagnon swings out from behind his own net right side, pitches it up to McDonald, streaking through the neutral zone. Passes picked off by Murakami. McDonald steals it away on the wraparound. Save is made by Roloffs. And tempers flared after the whistle. This is exactly what I was talking about in the pregame. We're just 4 seconds shy of being 5 minutes into the game. This is already the second or third scrum we've seen after a whistle. And that's South Division hockey for you. It's going to be like this all season long, so I encourage you to tune in on NHL TV or our YouTube audio stream, where you can either, one, see me on our YouTube feed and listen to me, or you can watch the action live on NHL TV. So the draw will be to the right of Roloffs in the far circle. In to take it for the Wranglers is McNaughton. Draw is sent to the end boards. McNaughton goes racing after it to the corner. Players converge. Puck squeaks out to McNaughton. He'll try and center it for Papaspropoulos. Goes by him and comes to Morris. Turning attempt on a shot is blocked by Emmons. And he has possession of the puck. He'll spin and pivot at his own goal line and send it up to Skurovic in the neutral zone. Pass is intercepted by Morris. Wranglers look to turn and go quickly back on the attack, but the puck comes to the stick of Murakami. Turnover from behind the net. They try and center it out in front. There's Papaspropoulos stealing away from Murakami, but Wranglers just couldn't settle down the puck and rip a shot away. Brahmas now left side attack. They'll pitch it in deep. That's Brock James. Ritchie, the first one on it for Amarillo. Swings it to the left side. Papaspropoulos gets crunched along the boards. He loses his stick, picks it back up. Chance for the Brahmas out in front. Goes wide. As they come back on offense, Atiri gets it to Bergeron, and the save is made by McDonough. And the Wranglers send it down for an icing. So 13:50 to go in the first period. Shot count is 6-3 in favor of the Brahmas. The shot count is certainly something that we'll want to watch out or keep an eye on as the game goes on. Here's some food for thought. The Wranglers outshoot their opponent, there's 3-1. When they're outshot, they're 1-1. So the Wranglers are much better off when they're outshooting their opponent. Is off the draw. Wranglers get it to Jeffries from behind his own net. Tries to spin it up ahead for Miller, and he gets taken down. Wranglers fans wanted a call. They're not going to get it. On offense, McGuire gets it to Puikkonen at the circle. Takes a shot, deflected out in front. Save made by Roloffs. They send it back up to the near point. DeMarco takes a shot. Patted away by Roloffs. And we get a whistle, and the arm is raised. Topi Puikkonen hit the ice. In the fray was Gunnar Williams. We'll see who the penalty is going to be on. Looks like the Wranglers are going to go to the power play. It's going to be 2 minutes for hooking to Gunnar Williams. So, Brahmas go 0 for 1 on their first opportunity. Now is the Wranglers' first chance on the man advantage. As off the draw, the Brahmas win it, and they'll send it down. McDonald got taken down off the draw. Wranglers now moving through the neutral zone. Ivey into the offensive zone. Will send it around to the left side for Ben Ivey. Gagnon holds it at the line. Feeling the pressure, gets it right side for Jack Ivey. He'll move in, take a shot. It's blocked. Comes to the stick of McDonald. On his backhand, moves to the line, goes across for Jack Ivey, who takes a shot that goes to the crease. Ben picks it up at the half wall, goes across for Jack at the far point. He'll send it to Gagnon, who's trying to walk the line, but he'll have to retreat back out to center as this Wrangler power play regroups. With a minute 14 to go on the power play. Puikkonen across, looking for Ben, takes a shot! And a save is made by Roloffs. Some good looks for the Wranglers' top power play unit, but they're unable to capitalize. On comes the second power play unit with a minute 09 to go on the penalty to Gunnar Williams. So out for the Wranglers is Zapp, Morris, McNaughton, DeMarco, and Doherty, as they look to get it done on the man advantage. False start on the draw. We'll do it again. Roman Zapp leads the team in assists with 7. One of those coming on the power play. Nice crowd here at NYTEX Sports Centre. A lot of Brahmas fans here to cheer on Lone Star. As off the draw comes to DeMarco, takes a shot, goes off the end boards. Just missed the net. DeMarco holds it in at the line on the clearing attempt. Moves towards his right. Below the circle, centers one. Goes through everybody, comes to Doherty at the point. He'll backhand it to the wall, and the Brahmas will chip it out to McDonald to kill time. Kyle DeMarco will gain center red and dump it in. Goes around the boards past roll-offs. Off the stick of Zapp, he loses it to Masick, who pitches it to the line, held in by DeMarco. Had to get on his knees to make that stop. DeMarco sends it across for Doherty. He'll meet it at the far point. Colin Doherty rips one into the middle, comes to DeMarco, looks to find Morris below the circle on the far side. Back up to the line for DeMarco. Goes down low for Zapp, back up to DeMarco, swings it to the left for Doherty. Takes a shot, goes off the inboards. Comes near side for Zapp. Will twist it up to the line looking for DeMarco, but it's picked off by Zadvernyuk. And with just 4 seconds to go on the penalty, he'll just wait it out and hold possession. Back to 5-on-5 here in NYTEX. No score, 11:22 to go in the first. Gagnon has the puck at center ice. He's challenged by a few Brahmas. In the fray is Tommy Chunchikov as well. Pucks rolls to the stick of Keskin Tepe. Will try and start a left wing breakout. Gets it to Capello. Backtracks to Keskin Tepe, who sends it to his right. Out to play it is McDonough. Try and spin it left side for Apollon. Brahmas keeping it at the line. Puck bounces towards McDonough, and he's quick to cover it with 10:52 to go in the first. And after the play, a Brahma goes down. In the mix was Divine Apollon. And Divine is going to be escorted to the penalty box. So the Brahmas are going to go back to the power play. As Divine Apollon gets 2 minutes for what I assume is going to be cross-checking. Ben Ivey trying to plead his case for Apollon, but they're not going to win that battle. So the draw will be to the left of McDonough. This will be the second time we've seen the Wranglers penalty kill unit out so far. See if they can go 2 for 2. It's off the draw. Atiri at the line. Sends it right for James. At the circle, takes a shot. Save made by McDonough, and he'll hold. Some more words are exchanged after the whistle, but the Wranglers understanding that you don't want to take another penalty here and go to an extended 5-on-3. Really, you don't want to give a team a minute 53 on a 5-on-3. So the Wranglers trying to keep their cool here, kill this penalty off. Draw will be this time to the right of McDonough. Jack Ivey will take it. Out there for the Wranglers right now are both Ivey brothers, Colin Doherty and Nolan Gagnon. Off the draw. Lone Star wins it. Left point, Atiri gets it to Borak. They'll work it down low below the goal line. Left side, Borak back up to the point for Atiri. Slides it across for James. Right point, James to the line. Atiri tries to go back to Borak. Good defensive stick by the Wranglers captain, Ben Ivey. And here he goes. He's already got a shorthanded goal. Try to find Jack Ivey streaking up ahead, but no dice. Ben Ivey had a shorthanded goal in the Wranglers' last outing against Corpus Christi. Left side now, Borak gains Wranglers blue. Will backhand it deeper to Kerr. Left point, Borak to the line. Atiri, drop pass, James, far circle, shot. Blocked out in front by Doherty. Directed to the wall. Wranglers aggressively forechecking here. Puck is up for grabs and it's bouncing. Able to corral it is Atiri. They'll send it below the goal line. Puck comes to the near corner. Gayon gets caught between a Brahmas sandwich, and he's able to poke it back out to center and kill some time off the penalty to Apollon. 55 seconds to go on the Brahma power play. Gayon steals the puck away. He's moving in towards the blue line, takes a shot, and it goes wide. Picking it up in the neutral zone is Skurovic. Loses it to Gayon, and he will once again dump it into the Brahmas zone as he goes off for a change and kills more time. 9:28 to go in the first period, 35 seconds to go on the Brahma power play. Eisenberg, drop pass for Murakami at the line. They gang Wranglers blue. Left side, Zavranyuk, centering shot. Blockered away by McDonough. Below the goal line, the puck goes. Comes to the far circle, shot out in front, looking for a pass with Skurovic. Just couldn't find the stick of Zavranyuk. Comes to the near point for Eisenberg, goes across. Finds Murakami, back to Eisenberg, who fans on the one-timer. Comes to Zavranyuk, left side, goes below the goal line. Centering a chance for Skurovic, and a save made by McDonough. Brahmas still have it. Murakami sends it through the crease, looking for Zavranyuk. He fans on the shot attempt, directed to the boards, and the Wranglers get the kill as they send it back out to center ice. Out of the box is Apollon. Here come the Brahmas again. Zavranyuk over the blue line, tries to shoot, and a good offensive stick by Roman Zapp stymies that attempt. Wranglers will take the puck and send it all the way down. Papaspropoulos does not win the race, loses an edge, and tumbles into the end boards. He was racing with number 21 of Lone Star. It was Bryce Ingles. Looks like they're both going to be okay. But with 8:26 to go in the first period, Wranglers are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill now. And an excellent penalty kill. The Brahmas had their chances, but just a few things stopping them. One, excellent defensive sticks at the right time from the Wranglers, and timely saves from Connor McDonough, keeping it a scoreless game. 8:26 to go in the first period. Shots are 9-4 in favor of the Brahmas. Draw beats McDonough's left on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. And to take it is Zapp, and he wins it, gets it to Bryce Cooper, who finds DeMarco. He'll spin it up and over the glass, and did it touch the glass? DeMarco shot it out of play from his own zone. Arm is raised. You always got to watch out for those flying pucks. Looks like everybody in attendance is okay. And someone's going to come away with a souvenir. They're going to say that the puck hit the glass, so DeMarco gets a lucky break this time. No penalty. Still 5-on-5. Cooper, big hit on Pyle in the far corner of his own zone. Gets the puck up to the neutral zone. At the center ice logo, McNaughton loses it. Comes to Ingles. He will dump it in after gaining the red line. At least so he thought. Officials say he didn't, and the draw will come back down to the Brahmas zone. Offensive zone draw for the Wranglers with 8:04 to go in the first period. Fun crowd here in the heart of Texas, in the greater Fort Worth, Dallas area, North Richland Hills. NYTEX Sports Centre. As in to take the draw for the Wranglers is Ben Ivey, and he wins it. To the line, far point, Ritchie tries to get a shot on goal, sticked away by Rolovs to the far corner. Coming away with the puck is Keskin Tepe, tries to work it up ahead. Held in by Jeffries, puck comes to the half wall, they'll joust for it. Puck still up for grabs, and eventually it'll come to the stick of Ingles, who takes a hit from Ivey, but not before he sends it back out to the neutral zone. Physical play starting to ramp up here. A little over midway through the first period. TJ Ritchie moves towards his right, tries to get it to Jack Ivey. Couldn't get it into the Brahmas zone. Lone Star looks to go on the breakout. Left side, Tess gets it poked away from him by Jeffries. Brahmas will dump it in. No icing. Ritchie in the near corner. They'll battle with Skurovic. He'll twist and send it deeper into the Wranglers zone. Meeting it below the goal line is Tess. Gets some help from Brock James. He moves to the near circle, sends it to the line. Shot by Murakami. Hits a stick and goes off the inboards. James. Brahmas trying to work it up to the blue line, but it's stolen away by Jack McDonald. And the Wranglers will get a chance to make a change here with 6:42 to go in the first. Left side, Tess, button hooks at the half wall. Finds Murakami at the top of the circle. Centering attempt for James is stopped by McDonough. Puck goes to the near corner. They'll battle for it. Centering chance from Capello, and his shot just goes wide. He fanned on it, couldn't get a shot off. Kerr moves to the near corner. We'll send it up to the line for Murakami. Left point takes a shot. Gets a few deflections. Save made by McDonough. Comes back to the near corner, and the Wranglers will bank it off the boards and down to roll-offs. No icing. Shots are 10-5 in favor of the Brahmas with 6 minutes to go in the first. Here comes Lone Star again. Kerr. Both Kerrs in the far corner. Puck goes behind McDonough. At the far side, held in by Williams. Battle at the half wall for the puck. Taking a tumble with a Wrangler. Lone Star centering out in front, looking for Zavranyuk. Just couldn't get the backhand shot away. Stolen away from him by the Finn. Topi Puikkonen. He'll go right side. Finds Miller. He gets met by a few Brahmas. Miller between the circles. Tries to find Puikkonen out in front. And a save made by Rolovs. No idea how Miller was able to come away with that puck in the battle along the boards. But he moved towards in between the circles. Saw Puikkonen streaking in. And Topi just couldn't put a backhand shot behind Rolovs. No score with 5:27 to go in the first period from North Richland Hills. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on NHL TV and our YouTube audio feed.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back. As it is a scoreless game with 5:27 to go. Late in the first period here at NYTEX Sports Centre. It's the first meeting between the Wranglers and the Brahmas this season. In the regular season, they met here in the preseason with the Brahmas winning in a shootout. But of course, that game didn't matter. But this is the regular season. This is the real deal. And coming up in the first intermission report, we'll look at some scores from around the league, the South Division standings. We'll do a recap of everything that we've seen here so far. Is off the draw. The Brahmas try and sky it out of their own zone. Pass is intercepted. McDonald out in front just couldn't get a shot away. Prime scoring chance for the Wranglers, and McDonald just couldn't pull the trigger. Brahmas will lift it deep into Wrangler territory. Borak gets crunched along the near side by Cooper. And now Cooper goes down. Wranglers want a tripping call. They're not going to get it. Puck comes to Zavranyuk. Moves to the far corner. Drops it off. Nobody home. Stolen away by DeMarco. He'll bank it off the boards out to center. And the Brahmas will regroup. Lone Star looking to plan a left wing breakout. It's Keskintepi over the red line. Now Wranglers blue will chip it to himself into the near corner. Guyon will swing it around to the far wall for Phillips. Stolen away by the Brahmas. Held in at the line by Murakami. Dishes it to the half wall for James. He'll work his way to the line, and the Wranglers are able to poke it away. Brahmas have to regroup with 4:16 to go in the first period. Skurovic will push it below the Wrangler goal line. Chunchikov unable to get out of his own zone for the moment, and the second attempt will bolster the puck to center ice. At the center ice logo, Zap moves it towards the left side. Worley Phillips getting in a scrum with Tess of the Brahmas. Bergeron over Wranglers blue, tries to rip a backhand shot. A few defensive stick for the Wranglers, break up that opportunity. Amarillo will send the puck down, goes by Rolovs, and so it'll be an icing call with 3:40 to go. Draw will come back down by Connor McDonough. Speaking of Connor McDonough, he's had a fantastic start to tonight's game. He stopped 10 of 10 shots, made some timely saves, especially on the penalty kill. It's one of the main reasons why this game is still scoreless late in the first period. If you are over on our YouTube audio stream, I encourage you to try and pick and find out who will be the Wranglers' first goal scorer of tonight's game. Drop your prediction below in the chat box. We'll go over that in the first period. There seems to be some confusion here. Ryan Anderson has some questions for the head official. He's barking some orders. As I said in the pregame, maybe emotional for him to come back to where he spent almost 5 years coaching, now on the enemy bench. But as soon as the puck drops, it's all business. Ryan Anderson is ready to play. So it'll be Justin Kerr and Connor McNaughton on the draw. Puck is directed to the corner, near corner that is. McNaughton gets it up to Jack Ivey in the neutral zone. He gets caught between 3 Brahmas. He'll just dump it in and race after it. First man on it is Emmons for Lone Star. He'll bang it off the boards, but he will get it out. Looks like Ben Ivey had a chance to hold it at the line, but the puck just hopped over his stick at the last second, so they blow the play dead with 3:23 to go in the first. The offside on the Wranglers. Draw will be in front of the Brahmas bench. That line will stay out there for the Wranglers. Top line of McDonald and the Ivey brothers. As Lone Star tries to spin it in deep, but picked off by Jeffries. Tries to find Jack Ivey moving to the offensive zone. Passes a little too far for him, so Aturi will send it to the right side as the Brahmas look to break out. Quickly now, Kerr tries to sashay by the defense. Sent it to the right side. Shot is blocked. Puck rolls around to the near side. Jack Ivey takes a thunderous hit from Keskin Tepe. Wranglers take offense to that. Brahma crowd cheers on. And dropping the gloves now is Ben Ivey defending his brother. He's in a fight with Keskin Tepe. Ben Ivey with a few shots, and they both go down. The Wranglers captain gets in a fight defending his brother after Jack Ivey took a big hit on the near side. And Ben's hands can do more than just score. He got a few good hits in on Keskin Tepe, and they both are sharing words. So with 2:48 to go in the first period. Ben Ivey's in the box. Keskin Tepe's in the box. We'll see what happens here. Kyle DeMarco, alternate captain for the Wranglers, speaks with the official. And we'll await the official word, but I said it before and I'll say it again. This is a Wranglers team that if you mess with somebody on the Wranglers, you mess with everybody on the Wranglers. It's a squad that will definitely have each other's backs, and a good moment between brothers there, between Jack and Ben Ivey. Jack takes a big hit. Ben takes offense to it. He stands up for his brother, gets in a fight with Keskin Tepe, gets a few good shots in, and both players tumble to the ground. And now we'll await what the official call is. Fans have certainly been treated to a good time here tonight. Keskin Tepe is being escorted off, as is Ben Ivey. As we will see later on whether or not if it's a game misconduct or a 10-minute misconduct on both sides. It's all remains to be seen. I've been told that it's up to the officials whether or not that call is made. at their own discretion, so you really can never tell until an official word is put out. Meanwhile, both coaches are speaking to the officials. Dan Wildfong now turns his attention to his Brahmas, and it looks like we're going to go 5-on-5 here, so no additional penalties added. Looks like they're both going to be offsetting 5 for fighting, and we'll see if there's any misconducts to be handed out as we'll look for that in our first intermission report. Neutral zone draw is won by the Brahmas. They'll fire it in. It goes around to the far side where it's met by a few players. Caught up in the skates of Zadvernyuk. Stolen away at the line. There's Corson McGuire. Has a breakaway developing. Just couldn't move any further as the puck got caught up in his skates. Right side now. Eisenberg loses the puck to Miller. Miller button hooks at the blue line. Will send it deep into the Brahmas zone. Stolen away by the Brahmas. Masick will lose it to DeMarco. Left side. Kyle will backhand it into the Brahmas zone. Out to play is Roloffs. Wranglers get a change defensively. On comes Luke Morris as well. As the Brahmas will regroup in their own zone. Minute 53 to go in the first period. Scoreless game here at NYTEX. Tommy Chunchikov will dump it in. Out to play it behind his own net is Roloffs. Atiri stolen away. Shot from the corner by Morris is saved by the Latvian netminder for Lone Star. Left side breakout. Bergeron for Lone Star. Works into the near corner of the Wranglers zone. Puck is stolen away by Gagnon. Will move it up ahead to Morris at the half wall. He'll backhand it as the Wranglers retreat and hopes to start an offensive breakout. Doherty tries to find McNaughton in the neutral zone. He couldn't get anything going. Brahmas with possession now. They have it below their own goal line. Get a whistle out in front of the Brahmas bench with 1:02 to go in the first period. Shots are 10-7 now in favor of the Brahmas. As I said before, the Wranglers, although small sample size, only 6 games into the season, when they outshoot their opponents, they're 3-1. When they're outshot, they're 1-1. So Wranglers certainly like to be on the higher side of the shot margin. As below the goal line in the Wranglers zone, centering attempt comes to McDonald after hopping over the stick of Masick. Wranglers look to break out. Pass is intercepted at the blue line. Williams will move it around to Masick in the neutral zone. Left side, Zadvernyuk for a shot by Williams is blocked by Cooper. They're stomping here in Brahmaland as Borak takes a shot. Save made by McDonough. Hops to the stick of McDonald. To the neutral zone, head up. Moves towards his right. Righty shooter will try and move it ahead for Papaspropoulos, and he does. Alex on his forehand tries to center it out in front, goes off the side of the net, and it'll be gloved down and frozen by Roloffs. 16.1 seconds to go in the first. Shots now 11-8. Good crowd here at NYTEX Sports Centre, here to support the Brahmas. And there's a few Wrangler fans that made the trip here as well. It's about 5 hours. Draw will be to the left of Roloffs on the near circle. And to take it is Roman Zapp. Out there with him are Puikkonen, Gagnon. Looks like Phillips and Doherty. It's off the draw. Puck comes into the Wranglers zone. Doherty will race after it. And neutral ice, puck is up. Contested for, comes to the stick of Gagnon. Gains the blue line, tries to find Phillips up ahead between the circles, but time expires. And that'll do it for the first period. And after the whistle, we get some pushing and shoving in the near corner of the Brahmas zone. For a game like this, that's nothing new. So scoreless game after the first period. Brahmas lead the shot count 11-8. They have a margin of 3. We'll recap all the first period events and look forward to the second period and talk about what the Wranglers need to do to get on the scoreboard here in the second period. And also look at some scores from around the league and the South Division standings. Coming up next on the first intermission report on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX Sports Centre. Scoreless game after 20 minutes of play. It's been the Wranglers and the Brahmas here in Brahma Land. Hi everybody, I'm Jack Chiarenza here to bring you the first intermission report and all the action here tonight as the Wranglers and the Brahmas go head-to-head for the first time this season. Brahmas coming into the matchup with the record of 5-4-0-1. Wranglers coming off a 1-1 split with the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. They're 4-2 coming to this game. We got 8 points. The Brahmas have 11. Well, scoreless first period, and a lot of people will look at that and say, well, nothing happened. And I'll tell you what, that's not true. That's not true at all. So much happened in the first period. So we had a few power play chances for both teams. Wranglers are 0 for 1 on the power play. Brahmas are 0 for 2. So both penalty kill units looking pretty solid so far to start tonight's game. And they'll have to be put to the test probably in the second period and beyond. As looks like we're going to have a 4-on-4 situation to start the second period. So a little bit of open ice here to begin the second frame. In the box for the Lone Star Brahmas is number 12, Charlie Emmons, who's the extra defenseman tonight. And for the Wranglers, it's number 21, and that's Morley Phillips. So they will both sit for 2 minutes to start the second period, so we'll have some open ice to begin period 2. And, you know, I think that's just the kind of thing that might blow this game wide open. Of course, these penalties both occurred after the final horn had sounded. 20 minutes ran off the clock. These are penalties that happened after the whistle, and so that's why you get the 4-on-4. They've just taken both. This is an interesting opportunity in this game where I kind of predicted that we would see a bit of a chess match between Ryan Anderson and Dan Wildfong, because for those of you who are just tuning in or don't know, Ryan Anderson spent about the last 5 years here with the Brahmas, spent some time as the head coach and GM of the Texas Brahmas, winning the Frazier Cup in the process, and then spent some time alongside now Brahmas head coach Dan Wildfong as his associate head coach. Well, now Anderson is the bench boss of the Wranglers, so now he's the enemy here in Brahma territory, and there's a lot of familiarity on both sides. I mean, you know, you got the teacher and you got the student. I mean, who's going to come away with the win here tonight? It's going to be interesting because, you know, both sides are so familiar with each other that a lot of what the game plan is on both sides, both are probably prepared for it quite well because they're familiar with each other's schemes. So I think that's what we saw here in the first period tonight. Saw a little bit of a chess match, a little bit of a feeling out process. Again, this is the first time that these two teams have met in the regular season this season, so usually when that happens, you get a bit of a feeling out process, and you don't see a whole lot of scoring for about the first 5-10 minutes. Well, here we got a whole period of no scoring, and I think because of that, you've got that feeling out process added on to the familiarity between Anderson and Wildfong, and I think that's going to make for a low-scoring game here tonight. You know, if you watched the Wranglers last weekend against Corpus Christi, you saw goals, goals, goals. Oh, Lone Star Brahmas, we're going to see more and more goals. I don't think that's going to be the case here this weekend just because of that familiarity aspect. It's going to be a coaching chess match here tonight. We saw a bit of a back-and-forth first period. Not super defensive, not super offensive either. Both teams had a few quality scoring chances. I would say that the Brahmas probably had more high-quality scoring chances than the Wranglers did, but I think it's about even. And like I said, it's a game. It's mind games between two coaches that know each other very, very well. And so the key to winning the game tonight and the key to winning the game tomorrow night is going to be whoever has their team ready to go and is able to adapt on the fly in the second, third period and beyond. That's the guy that's going to come away with a win tonight. And it's going to be interesting to see. I think that in the first period, Anderson and Wildfong kind of just testing the waters, dipping their toes in the kiddie pool, just kind of trying to see what each guy was going to throw out. I think in the second period, especially with this open ice, you're going to have a lot more room for teams to trade chances. You have a lot more room for some offense. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a goal in the opening 2 minutes of this period, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a quick goal to start this period, even in like the first 5 minutes or so. Otherwise, I have a feeling that we may be in for a bit of a defensive battle here tonight, and that's really the way both coaches play. Is they play a tight defensive scheme. I mean, really, the way you can sum it up is it's about it's basically a race to 3. In a game like this, where it could be 1-0, it could be 2-1, it could be 3-2, 3-1. It just depends. So you got to make the most of your scoring chances, especially in a game like this where both coaches are so familiar with each other. So it's going to be a fun one. I think it'll definitely come down to the wire. But for the Wranglers here in the second period, I think they have to make the most of this open ice here in the second period. I think that this open ice with the 4-on-4 benefits the Wranglers more than it does the Brahmas, because the Brahmas seem to be playing a pretty tight defensive game. Both teams love to shut plays down at the blue line, direct plays towards the corner, kind of just shut down traffic, get defensive sticks in there. I mean, it seems like the Brahmas are trying to move the puck around a lot. They're not able to do it because the Wranglers are so good at getting defensive sticks in the way. Their defensive game plan is really on par. It's top-notch, and, of course, Ryan Anderson is excellent at doing that. So I think for the Wranglers, you really have to make the most of this 4-on-4 time. I think it'll be interesting to see who the Wranglers throw out there to start this period. I would imagine that if Ben Ivey, who fought late in the second period, first period, about 15 minutes in, if he's able to return to the game and he didn't come away with a misconduct, then I expect we see him back out there at some point. But I mean, if my internal math is correct, he's still got time on his 5-minute major for fighting, so he won't be out there to start the first period. So I imagine that you would put Jack McDonald and Jack Ivey out there. I would say arguably your 2 fastest players, but who knows? It'll be interesting to see what Ryan Anderson comes up with here. Will he go with 2 forwards and 2 defensemen here to start the 4-on-4, or will he go 3 forwards, 1 defenseman? It'll be interesting to see what he does, but I think the Wranglers have to make the most of this open ice, and I think they have to score first. I think in a game like this, you don't want to come from behind, especially against a defensive-minded team like the Brahmas. I think scoring first would benefit the Wranglers more than it would the Brahmas in a game like this. The Brahmas, they're certainly capable of coming back, so don't just think that whoever scores the first goal in this game is going to come away with the win. Sure thing. I mean, that's not necessarily the truth. I mean, the Brahmas were down to the Shreveport Mugbugs. They were down 4-2 late in the second period, they were down by 2 late in the second period and came back to win that game 4-2 on September the 29th. So the Brahmas are capable of coming back from behind and winning late in games. Brahmas are currently on a 2-game win streak. Of course, start that streak was that game I just mentioned against Shreveport, and then on September 30th, they beat the Mudbugs in a shootout, 2-1. Charlie Masick had a goal, the mispronunciation there. Charlie Masick had a goal in that game, and Justin Kerr had the shootout winner in the 4th round. He was the only player to score in that game. And the goaltending has been fantastic on both sides. I mean, that's another reason why we've been scoreless. Deves Roloffs, he's the real deal for the Brahmas. He comes into this game with a 161 goals against average, 931 save percentage. I mean, this is a guy, he's playing in his 9th game. This is the Brahmas' 11th game. He's only had 2 nights off. He's been working a lot, but when he's been called upon, he's been playing quite well. I mean, he's 5-3 on the season. His stats speak for themselves. For Connor McDonough, he's also on a great start to the season, and he looked sharp in the first period as well, stopping 11 of 11. He's only played 3 games. He's 3-0. He's got a 1.98 goals against average and a 914 save percentage. He was sharp in the first period, and I think if the Wranglers want to come away with the win, they're going to have to continue to see excellent play from Connor McDonough. But we're also seeing a goaltending battle, and again, I just think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. It's going to come right down to the wire in the 3rd period. So stick with us here on NHL TV and YouTube all night long, because this one's going to be a nail biter. I can just feel it. It's like a spidey sense for a broadcaster almost. You think about that Spider-Man 6th sense. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. I'm just feeling like it's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be tight. We're not going to see a lot of goals, and it's going to come right down to the last second. Maybe overtime, maybe shootout. Who knows? But it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to have you on the edge of your seat, and you're just going to have to stick around to the final horn to find out how it ends. When we come back on the first intermission report, we'll look at some scores from around the league, and we'll look at the South Division standings as the young season moves on. See you in 30 seconds on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX Sports Centre as the first intermission report rolls on. Hi everyone, I'm Guy Chiarenza. Fun fact for you, and I just found this out a few days ago in preparation for this week's games. The NYTEX Sports Centre logo, it's the shape of Texas, it's got the Statue of Liberty's head in it. Really cool looking logo. It's actually on the Lone Star Brahmas logo, on like the hind of the bull, like the thigh of the bull. You can actually see the NYTEX Sports Centre logo, which I think is a cool touch. This is where the Brahmas call home. It is a really nice facility. It's my second time here. We were here for the preseason, and this is a venue that I do like coming to. Great atmosphere. The staff here is always so friendly, and it's really just a great place to watch a hockey game. And they got so much more going on here than just hockey, but it really is a great venue. One of my favorites so far. But as the first intermission report rolls on. I keep wanting to say second. It's only the first intermission report, although it feels like this game has been going on for a while. First intermission report rolls on. No score so far, 0-all. We'll look at some scores from around the league as there's some action in the North American Hockey League. Talking about the South Division. We'll talk about the South Division standings once we wrap up these scores from around the league. The Odessa Jackalopes. Try saying that 5 times fast. The Odessa Jackalopes are in El Paso to take on the Rhinos. A little over 5 minutes to go in the first period. The Rhinos have a 1-0 lead. The Austin Bruins are taking on the St. Cloud Norsemen, where the Norsemen and the Bruins are tied heading into the second intermission. Springfield and Chippewa are tied 1-1 in the second intermission. Danbury beats New Hampshire 4-3. Janesville Jets, who seem to have started the season off on the right foot. The Wranglers defeated them in the season opener at the Showcase in overtime. The Jets defeat the Wendigo 3-2. Over in Shreveport, the Ice Wolves are taking on the Mudbugs. New Mexico has a 4-2 lead over the Mudbugs. A little over 5 minutes to go in the second period. Rebels and Nordiques are tied at 3. 16:23 to go in the third period and counting. Black Bears have a 3-2 lead over the New Jersey Titans midway through the third period. Wings and Minotauros are scoreless at the top of the second period. Oklahoma Warriors and the Corpus Christi Ice Rays are doing battle over in Corpus. Ice Rays have a 1-0 lead over the defending champs in the first intermission. And Rochester has a 3-1 lead over Johnstown in the second intermission of that game. So, good action from around the North American Hockey League. Let's take a look at the standings and see how this might affect what's going on in the South Division. So, right now, the Wranglers are in 7th place, but that's misleading because they've only played 6 games. This is their 7th. They're 4-2. They've got 8 points. The Brahmas are 5-4-0-1. They've got 11 points. They're in the midst of a 4-way tie for first. 4 teams have 11 points. Colorado's played 11 games. The Brahmas have played 10. And the Mudbugs and Ice Wolves have both played 8. So, I mean, it really is too early to look at these standings and say, oh, you know, this team is going to go make the playoffs. It's just too early to tell. But what we can tell from this is it looks like it's going to be a very crowded South Division. I mean, you add Colorado in the offseason expansion team, 9 teams in the division, only 4 teams make the playoffs. So, very jam-packed division. Whoever makes the playoffs is going to be a top caliber threat to win it all. Of course, you got the defending champs in the division, the Oklahoma Warriors. Wranglers will see them in 2 weeks for 5 straight games against the Warriors, separated between 2 weekends, first of which will be at the Budweiser Bullpen. Speaking of the Budweiser Bullpen, the Wranglers will be back there next weekend on the 13th and 14th to take on the Odessa Jackalopes. And I tell you what, you're going to want to be there for this. If you're in the Amarillo area, go get your ticket right now, because on the 13th, it'll be Pink in the Rink night. Fans are encouraged to wear pink to support awareness for cancers of all kinds as we fight for a cure. It'll be Pink in the Rink night. Wranglers will be wearing their pink jerseys, which they will also be wearing again for Barbie night, which will be on the 14th against the Jackalopes. Yep, that's right. The Wranglers are going to be wearing Barbie-themed specialty jerseys. It's a white base jersey with pink trim. It's got a little Barbie on it. I've never seen anything like it, and I can't describe it. Like, that's the best I can do to describe it. It's one of a kind. You got to come down to the Budweiser Bullpen and check them out. Get your tickets online at AmarilloWranglers.com or PanhandleTickets.com. You check out the Barbie specialty themed jerseys, and guess what? It could be yours. They're going to be available for auction following the conclusion of that game. So I'm going to stick around for that. Maybe get your hands on a piece of historic merchandise. I don't think that I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible. So they'll be wearing those for Pink in the Rink night because it's a pink jersey, and they'll also be wearing them again for Barbie night, and then that's it. No more after that. They'll be auctioned off, and it can be yours. So go down to the Budweiser Bullpen, check that out. As that's what we've got in store next weekend when the Jackalopes come to town. Back to our game here in NYTEX. No score. Both teams have retaken the ice. Divine Apollon out there for the Wranglers. He was in the middle of a scrum early in the first period. And as it stands, Ben Ivey is out on the ice, as is Keskin Tepe, so it looks like no misconducts that I can tell are handed out. Looks like it was just 5 for fighting, although don't want to speculate. We'll see. I mean, when they return, I'll let you know when they return. We're about set to start second period action. Wranglers will skate from right to left as you see it on NAHL TV, and the Brahmas from left to right. Lone Star wearing their white home jerseys with black and purple trim, black numbers, black names, black lettering on a white name bar. Wranglers wearing their road blues. It's a blue jersey with white numbers, red trim, and a little white trim mixed in as well. So, Wranglers are going to go with 2 forwards, 2 defensemen, Doherty and Gagnon, and Jack Ivey and Jack McDonald. As the Wranglers win the draw to start the 4-on-4 action of the second period. In the box for the Brahmas is number 12. Charlie Emmons gets 2 minutes for roughing, as does Morley Phillips for the Wranglers. So that's why we're at the 4-on-4. Both penalties happened at the conclusion of the first period. Brahmas gains center right with speed. It's Zavriniuk moving towards his left, takes a shot, goes over the glove of McDonough and back out to the Brahmas zone. Not the play, it is Rolovs. Wranglers get a quick change, as do the Brahmas, as waiting patiently behind his own net is Ray Murakami. The Brahmas captain will send it to his left for Skurovic. Below the circle, takes a shot, deflected out in front, and they score! For a second, McDonald thought he had it. It somehow just rolled through his wickets and in. Goal is going to go to Skurovic. And it's a 1-0 game. Just 50 seconds into the second period. Wranglers are going to have some catching up to do, as the Brahmas have scored the first goal of the game, as fans are throwing some kind of chuck-a-puck thing out on the ice after the Brahmas' first goal. A bunch of kids come out there on skates to pick them up. As that goal was scored 4-on-4. So we will remain 4-on-4 for another minute and 11 seconds. So it's the Brahmas that make the most of the open ice on the 4-on-4. Sneaky shot from the left side by Skurovic. Might have gotten tipped out in front. Either way, McDonald thought he had it, and then it just trickled by him. And the Brahmas are on the board first. So still 4-on-4. Wranglers looking to get it back. DeMarco finds Papaspropoulos. Goal will actually go to Brock James, number 23 of Lone Star. Skurovic will get the assist, as does Ray Murakami. Goal scored 50 seconds into the second period. As that is James's second of the year. Wranglers go D-to-D in their own zone. About 30 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Amarillo trying to make the most of the open ice. Fans take up a "Let's Go Brahmas" chant. Puck at the line. Doherty slides it across. Gagnon takes a shot that just whistles wide. Way out of the crease was Rolovs. Gagnon just couldn't beat him at the top of the circle. Eisenberg finds Masick into Wranglers territory. Shot by Zavranyuk goes wide. He picks up the rebound. Puck below the goal line, scooped up by Gagnon. He'll move towards his left, flies over the red line, moves towards his right, evades a defender, gets it to Zapp, who will dump it in. Delayed offside on the Wranglers, they'll have to regroup. Brahmas will work it into the Wranglers zone, and it'll be called for an icing. 17:40 to go in this second period. So Brock James picks up his second goal of the year on a 4-on-4 situation. Assists will go to number 90, David Skurovic, and number 55, Ray Murakami. So the Lone Star captain picks up his 4th point of the year. Offensive zone draw. Wranglers couldn't win it. Lone Star will spin it around. Williams will get it back out to the neutral zone and then some. Racing after it is Ritchie battling with Tess. Ritchie sends Tess into the boards. Puck comes to Williams at the top of the circle. Takes a shot. Blocked out in front by, I believe, it was Luke Morris. Brahmas regroup. Williams, right side, finds James. Looking to add to his goal total and his team's total. James tries to work around a few defenders. Good defensive play by Jeffries to break that up. Puck comes to Ritchie in the far corner. Go backhand and ahead looking for Chunchikov. Puck is stolen away by the Brahmas. Shot by James just goes wide. McDonough might have gotten a piece of it. Wranglers will lift it back out to center ice where Williams will go D-to-D with Atiri. Williams over the red line now will backhand it in. Chasing after it is Capello. He wins the race against Jeffries, although Lucas will direct him into the corner. Battle for the puck now. Brahmas backhand it towards the line, but it's picked off by McNaughton. He'll dump it in as the Wranglers go off for a partial change here, and now it's a full change as McNaughton goes off. Big hit on open ice by Ingles on Morris. As the Brahmas send the puck to the end boards behind McDonough. It's up for grabs as they'll joust for it. They'll work it up to the far point, held in by Emmons. Puck rolls to the stick of Morris. He'll move right side, find Jack Ivey. He'll send it around below the goal line. Out to play it is Roloffs. McDonald couldn't corral it, and out come the Brahmas at center ice. Left side, it's Justin Kirk. It's stood up by Kyle DeMarco. He wasn't having any of that as the Wranglers defenseman shuts that play down. McNaughton will dump it into the Brahmas zone. First man on it is Emmons. He'll spin and send it behind him. Comes to the stick of McDonald. Back up to the far point. DeMarco shoots. Deflected wide off the inboards. Bergeron in the corner takes a hit from Cooper. Puck rolls to the far side. Emmons works it up and into Wranglers territory. Cooper will go across for DeMarco. Far side, Wranglers looking to break out, but pass goes astray. They'll get another change. Brahmas working offensively now. They'll roll it below the goal line. Miller pitchforks it ahead for Puikkonen. Bounces off the inboards and out to center. Here's Cooper moving towards his right. Finds Corson McGuire, who'll push it further. Puck rolls around to the near half wall. Meeting it is Matthias Borak. Gets it up ahead for Avon Pyle. He'll send it around, out to play it and slow it down as McDonough. Far corner now. They'll battle for it. Puck comes loose. All alone is Masick, and he couldn't get it on goal. Puck will roll to the corner. Wranglers unable to get possession. Zavernyuk at the line takes a shot. Snap tides in front. Save made by McDonough. Puck goes below the goal line. Swept away by Doherty. Gets it to McGuire. Wranglers can't get out of their own zone. Doherty pinned up along the end boards. Tries and get it out. Stolen away by Zavernyuk. Back up to the line. Murakami across to the near point for James. Loses his balance. Gets it back. Sends it down to the corner. Looking for Zavernyuk, but we get a whistle. 14:16 to go in the second.
Contact our friends at the Junk King in Fort Worth. The Junk King will send his trash knives out to remove and haul away your junk. All hail the Junk King, the Junk King of Fort Worth.
Wow. So good offensive pressure there by the Brahmas. They now lead the shot count 15-8. Brahmas have taken the first 4 shots of the second period. Wranglers have yet to have a shot on goal. Draw will be to the left of McDonough on the near circle. In to take it will be Miller. Brahmas win the draw. Chiari at the line. Banks it off the end boards. Meeting it at the half wall is Miller. 1-2 play with Puikkonen, gets it to McGuire at the half wall on the near side. McGuire tries to center it out in front. Defensive stick by Atiri, sends it to the far half wall. Held in at the far point by Gagnon. He'll take a shot. Whistles around the ear of Roloffs and back out to neutral ice. Taking a big hit was Doherty out in front of the scorer's table. He promptly gets to his feet. Arm is raised, and it looks like they're going to get Brock James. 13:44 to go in the second period. And they will escort Brock James to his holding cell, where he'll serve 2 minutes. Wranglers going back on the power play. This will be their second chance in tonight's game. Went 0 for 1 in the first period on that attempt. We'll see if they can get something going here and tie the game. I have to say, Brahmas fans are very passionate and they're very vocal. It seems like every time a call doesn't go their way, they're always there to argue their case. I figured they might make good lawyers. Who knows? The Wranglers knew that this would be a hostile environment coming in. And so far, they're doing a good job of weathering the storm. They just need to find a way to get on the scoreboard.
Lone Star Brahmas penalty, follow number 23.
Puikkonen
Brock James, 2 minutes.
in the near corner. Gets it to McDonald, who sends it to the near point for Jack Ivey. Goes across, Papaspropoulos to the line for Gagnon. Tries to go back to Alex, but it's intercepted by Zavrinyuk. And they'll blow the play offside. Wranglers were trying to get a couple quick tic-tac-toe passes off. And Zavrinyuk was able to read the play and send it back to the neutral zone. Wranglers quickly threw it back over the blue line, which is why we get the offside. So that drains 14 seconds off the power play time for Amarillo. Draw will be in the neutral zone on the near side. Out there for the Wranglers on the power play is Puikkonen, Papaspropoulos, McDonald, Jack Ivey, and Nolan Gagnon. Off the draw, Chiarenza will spin it down to the stick of Connor McDonough. He'll keep the play moving. As Jack Ivey exits his own zone, goes left side for Puikkonen. Puikkonen moving with speed, and looks like he caught Murakami up high. He's going to get away with it. Spinning play, Puikkonen's just follow through on his dump-in attempt. Caught Murakami up high, and the officials didn't see it. Lucky break for the Finn. Minute 13 to go on the power play for the Wranglers. Gagnon moves over the blue line. Meets McDonald at the half wall. Below the goal line's Puikkonen. He'll send it further to the far point for Papaspropoulos. Gets it to the line for Jack Ivey. Spinning, finds Gagnon. Centering pass from McDonald. Backhand attempt. Stymied by Achuri. Puck goes to the corner now. Puikkonen keeps it moving. Rolls it to the half wall where it's met by a Brahma and sent out. 41 seconds to go on the power play. Connor McNaughton out there now with Morris. Stretch pass looking for McNaughton. Just goes astray. Comes to Roloffs, who will play it back down to Doherty, who is waiting in his own zone. 22 seconds to go on the power play. Stretch pass for McNaughton goes off his stick, off the imports. Out to play it is Roloffs, and he will once again send it down. Last gasp on the power play for the Wranglers. 7 seconds to go on that. Aggressive forecheck here from the Brahmas. They just now peel off as the penalty is expired. We're back to 5-on-5. Doherty at the near point. Sent it out in front looking for McNaughton. Rolls off his stick. Zap couldn't corral it, and the Brahmas will send it the length of the ice. Racing after it is DeMarco. Brock James wins the race, sends it out in front. Save made by McDonough. Morris sends it to Zap, who flags it down in the neutral zone. Brock James has it now, moving towards his left. Looks for Sassenbury. Back to James in the far corner. Spins away from the attack, gets it to Bergeron, who leaves it for Emmons, who takes a shot that goes through the crease. Near side point, Ingles takes a shot, blocked by the skate of Doherty. Comes to Zap, who takes a cross check, and the arm is raised and tempers flare. 10:52 to go in the second. So some pushing and shoving. The arm is raised. Shots are 16-8 in favor of the Brahmas. Roman Zap will head towards the bench. He was the recipient of the cross check, and it looks like Connor McNaughton's going to go to the box, as is Bryce Ingles. So, 2 minutes to Ingles and 2 minutes to McNaughton. We'll back to 4-on-4 action. Keep in mind, the only goal of the game was scored on a 4-on-4 situation just 20 seconds into the second period. And Brock James got his second of the year from Skurdovic and Murakami. As a sharp angle Skurdovic shot was deflected out in front, rolled between the wickets of Connor McDonough, and the Brahmas have the only goal of the game so far. Draw will be on the near circle in the Wranglers zone. Draw is won by Amarillo. Good win by Jack McDonald. So McNaughton gets 2 minutes for roughing, as does Ingalls. Cooper below the goal line for McDonald in the offensive zone. Cooper meets it. Sharp angle shot. Glove down by Rolovs. Puck bounces to Masick. They'll move left side. Charlie Masick gets the puck poked off his stick by Miller. And that's an offside. Make that Nolan Gagnon with the play. 30 seconds gone off the 4-on-4. 10:21 to go in the second. It'll be a neutral zone draw in front of the Brahmas bench. Out there for the Wranglers now is Papaspropoulos, Puikkonen, DeMarco, and Doherty. Draw is won by Brock James of the Brahmas. Get it to Murakami. Brahmas passing the puck around as they look to break out on the 4-on-4. Murakami over the red line, now blue. Goes right side, Skurlovic shoots, blocked by Doherty. Goes into the near corner. Battle for it along the boards. Coming away with the puck is Papaspropoulos. He'll try and dish it to Doherty, gets caught up in the skates of Skurlovic. He'll send it to the line for Murakami. Back to Skurlovic at the circle, they'll trade places. Drop pass, Murakami moves into the circle, below the circle, takes a shot. Blocked by DeMarco. Murakami scoops it back up, sends it to the line. Shot by Skurlovic, goes wide. 45 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. They go across. Near side, it's Skurlovic. Defending him is Puikkonen. Alex Papaspropoulos comes away with the puck. He'll bank it off the ends boards for DeMarco. Kyle will send it left side for Puikkonen in the neutral zone. He'll dump it in. Out to play it from behind his own goal is Rolovs. Patiently waiting now for the breakout is Gunnar Williams. He'll move it to his left for Justin Kerr. Kerr splits the D. Kerr loses his stick and goes crashing into the net. And the whistle blows. 14 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. 9:05 to go in the second. Brahmas lead 1-0. So we'll see what we have here. They will take the draw back out to the neutral zone in front of the Brahmas bench. Cooper, Gagnon, Zapp, and McGuire out there now for the Wranglers. Zapp wins the draw. Gets it to Gagnon, who will peel away from the forecheck in his own zone. Left side, Cooper finds Gagnon moving in, just gets stymied by the defense. Puck comes back out to the center ice logo. Shifting away from the pressure is Cooper. Moves it right side, looking for McGuire. He gets it stolen away from him by Atiri. Fans clamoring for penalties, and they're going to get one. Arm is raised. It's a delayed penalty on the Brahmas. Out of the net comes McDonough. Although, as soon as he heads towards the bench, the Brahmas will touch up. So, Wranglers will go back to the power play. Fans voice their displeasure, but going to the box will be Antti Atiri. He gets 2 minutes. And so the Wranglers will head to the power play. Amarillo power play is 0 for 2 so far tonight. Got a couple 4-on-4 situations. Brahmas are also 0 for 2 on the man advantage. But when you're playing a defensive team like the Brahmas that just are so good at defending 5-on-5, you really have to make the most of your opportunities offensively on the man advantage when you're giving those chances. This is the third such instance in this game for the Wranglers where they'll have that opportunity. We'll see if they can cash in. So out there now for Amarillo. Jack Ivey, Alex Papaspropoulos, Jack McDonald, Nolan Gagnon, and Topi Puikkonen. Papaspropoulos in to take the draw, and he wins it. Puck bounces around in the circle, comes to the stick of Zabranyuk, and he will clear and get it down. He'll actually race after it. Charlie Masick moving in, can't get a shot away. Aggressive forecheck on the penalty kill by the Brahmas. And here come the Wranglers, 3-on-2 developing. Jack Ivey, who's right side for McDonald. He'll curl, send it to Ivey between the circles. He'll drift towards the near point. Goes across for Gagnon. Far half wall, Papaspropoulos. Back to Gagnon at the point. Papaspropoulos between the circles for McDonald. Sends it back to Alex. They'll send it down low for Puikkonen. Back at the half wall for Papaspropoulos. Far side, moves into the circles. Tries to get to McDonald, and just one too many passes. Picked off by Zabranyuk. And he will hold and kill some time. Send it back to Murakami. As you've got 1:12 to go on the power play for the Wranglers. Papaspropoulos moves into the offensive zone on the right side. Will swing it around the boards for Puikkonen at the near half wall. McDonald now on his forehand. Gets it poked away from him by Ingles. Puck is loose in the corner. McDonald sweeping attempt, trying to get out in front. Held in at the line by Ivey. Out in front. Back in attempt by Puikkonen. Save made by Rolovs. Held in at the line by Gagnon. He shoots. Goes off a helmet and diving to make the save and cover is Rolovs. With 45 seconds to go on the power play, Wranglers have a few chances, just can't cash in. Wranglers have the right mentality, but maybe just one too many passes. They've only got 2 shots on goal so far in the period from the in-arena shot count. So, I mean, it's never a bad idea to put pucks on net. Any look right now is a good look. And it'll be Zapp, McNaughton, Doherty, Morris, and DeMarco out there for the Wranglers. Second power play unit on now. DeMarco unable to hold it at the line. Moving past him is Masick, and out to play the puck is McDonough. Charlie Masick was turning on the Jets, trying to gun towards that puck, but McDonough came out to shut down that aggressive play. 26 seconds to go on the power play for the Wranglers. See if they can make the most of it here. Right side, Doherty gets stood up at the blue line, not before dumping it in though. Rolovs out to play it, can't get it out. And with a little help from Keskintepi, we'll get it back out to the neutral zone. Wranglers once again will pitch it below the goal line. Brahmas quick to jump on the puck and send it down to McDonough, and that'll do it for the man advantage. Wranglers now 0 for 3 on the power play. Still a 1-0 game, courtesy of the goal 20 seconds into the second period from Brock James. Zapp out in front, deflection, they score! Luke Morris, and the Wranglers have tied it. Well, Rolovs was just trying to make a routine play, come out to play the puck from behind the net, ends up turning it over. Comes to the stick of Roman Zapp, finds Luke Morris out in front. He deflects it in, and it's a tap-in goal. We're tied at 1. It's kind of a goal that caught me off guard because looked like it was just such a routine play, and it's just bang, bang. Puck was in the back of the net, so we'll see what happens here. As they're now at the scorer's table, I wonder what's up for debate. If it ends up being a Wranglers goal, it's going to go to Luke Morris. From Roman Zapp, and if there's a secondary assist, I'll let you know what it is. Just a funny, wacky play. Again, Rolovs came out to play the puck, turned it over, came to Roman Zapp on the near side half wall. He threw it towards the net, and it went off the skate of Luke Morris and into the back of the net. So I can only imagine that they're looking to see if there was a distinct kicking motion on that play. I'm not quite sure what the official word is here. Ben Ivey is now back in the game. He's talking with the head official. And they call no goal. So, still 1-0 Brahmas. And to the enjoyment of the crowd, it's still a 1-0 game in favor of their home Lone Star Brahmas. Ryan Anderson getting the explanation on the bench from the head official. And so the Wranglers thought they had it. No dice. Still a 1-0 game. So, on a play like this, especially for the Wranglers when you thought you scored and you didn't, you'll have to see how they adapt to this call. I mean, you think that you've turned the momentum in your favor, and then all of a sudden it just gets killed by the non-goal. Can the Wranglers find a way to continue that momentum? Remains to be seen. As Ben Ivey back in the game, takes the draw. And off the draw in between the circles, Ivey fans on the shot. Again, moves in, tries to backhand in one. Wranglers chop at it. They score! It's Jack Ivey. Who else would it be? He extends his goal-scoring streak to 6 games. And now it's a 1-1 game. And they hush the crowd here at NYTEX.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening.
So, Wranglers get that one back just 8 seconds after the no goal. And they play some sad jazz music here at NYTEX because the Wranglers have absolutely sucked the life out of the building. So, 1-1 game. Wranglers looking to add to their total.
Amarillo Wranglers goal scored by number 6,
Jack Ivey gets the goal.
Number 4, Ben Ivey.
Assist comes Ben Ivey.
Jack McDonald.
And Jack McDonald will pick up the secondary assist as the Wranglers deep in Brahma territory looking for more. Goal scored at 13:50 of the second period. Brahmas, left side, James has the puck on his stick and gets it poked away by Connor McDonough. High awareness from the Wranglers goalie as Miller gains Brahmas blue and dumps it in on Rolovs. Taking a tumble in the corner was a Churi, courtesy of Miller. Fans want to call. Puikkonen takes a shot. Save made by Rolovs. Puck goes to the corner. Near side, McGuire dances between the circles, takes a shot that just whistles wide. James sends it out to the neutral zone. Wranglers looking for more. They'll dump it in on Rolovs. Puck bounces off of him. It's loose between the circles and is eventually corralled by the Brahmas. They'll dump it into the Wranglers zone. TJ Ritchie to play it. McDonough pokes it to the near corner. Lucas Jeffries rolls it along behind McDonough, looking for Ritchie. A couple Brahmas in the area. They come away with the puck. The line, Ingles goes far side. Shot from the line goes wide by Emmons. Held in at the near half wall by Sassenbury. They'll roll it around to the far corner. Wranglers chop at it. Get it back to the near side. Nobody's there. Jeffries below the goal line for Ritchie. They'll drop it for McNaughton. Good forecheck here from the Brahmas. Lone Star able to hold the puck in at the line. They'll send it to the half wall where it's picked up by McNaughton. They'll once again move it to the near side where the Wranglers will finally escape their own zone. 4:09 to go in the second period. 1-1 game. Most recent goal was scored by Jack Ivey, his 7th of the year. Emmons finds Ingles. Up ahead in the neutral zone, Capello has it bounce off his skate. He'll backhand it into the Wranglers zone. After it is Gagnon. He'll move it around to the far side, looking for Morris. Pass is picked off by Emmons. Pinned up against the boards are the Wranglers. Puck squirts out to the near side. Ingles holds it in at the point. He'll take a shot. Save made by McDonald. Rebound comes to Gagnon, and he'll move it up to neutral ice, where it'll be played by Luke Morris. Brahmas dump it into the Wrangler zone. After it is Gagnon. On the far side, Gagnon retreats behind his net. Will bank it off the boards, looking for Jordy on the change. Puck hops around, teams trade possession. Shot whistles wide of McDonough. Second attempt from Eisenberg is sticked out in front. Comes to the stick of Doherty, and he'll find Morris. He'll exit his zone, left side. Papaspropoulos takes a shot, easily sticked away by Rolovs. Then we get a stoppage with 2:52 to go in the second.
With over 330 schools and 62,000 students worldwide.
So Wranglers thought they had a goal. 16-18, or excuse me, with 6:18 on the clock. Luke Morris thought he had a goal, got disallowed. Just 8 seconds later, the Wranglers respond on a goal from Jack Ivey. Assists going to number 4, Ben Ivey, and number 93, Jack McDonald. And that's been the money line so far for the Wranglers this season. Far circle, Zap on the draw, sends it to the end boards. Brahmas pick up the puck in the neutral zone. Skurtovich, left side, shoots, swallowed up by McDonough, and he'll hold. 2:43 to go in the second period. Shots are 19-12 in favor of the Brahmas in a 1-1 game. Both goals were scored here in the second period. Brahmas had the lead for a good portion of the second period up until the Wranglers were able to score on the Jack Ivey goal. Draw at the far circle of the Wranglers zone is won by Amarillo. DeMarco tries to get it out, held in by Atiri. Centering pass is picked off by Jack Ivey. He'll gain Brahma's blue. Fire a shot off the pad of Rolovs. Will be picked up by Tess, who moves to the neutral zone and gets stood up at the blue line. He'll be offside with 2:22 to go in the second period. Still a 1-1 game. Fun contest here at NYTEX Sports Centre, and we'll recap all the scoring and everything that's gone on in our second intermission report. We'll also look at some scores from around the league, preview the third period, and much more. On the second intermission report. McDonough out to play the puck. Fans on it, comes loose. Puck is out in front of him. Brahma's hacking away at it, and eventually it goes into the belly of McDonough. Had some trouble playing that puck, was luckily able to dive on it and evade any more danger. 2:05 to go on the clock. Off the draw, Wranglers win it. Jeffries banks it off the boards and down past Rolovs. Brahmas want an icing, they're not going to get it. Lone Star exits their zone, they get stood up at the center ice logo. Bergeron will flip it in off the far side boards. Picking it up is Doherty. Wranglers will work it to the near corner of their own zone, trying to get out of the defensive zone. Doherty behind his own net. Finds Miller in the near side corner. Left wing breakout here is Puikkonen exits the zone. He'll hop one up to McGuire. Just bounces off his stick, unable to get anything going offensively. Owen Kerr takes a big hit from Doherty on the near side boards as Lone Star gets stuffed on that attempt. He'll have to try again. Racing after the puck in the near corner of the Brahmas zone is McNaughton. Good forecheck here from Amarillo. They hold it at the line. DeMarco dumps it in deep, goes off a stick and up into the netting. So we get a stoppage with 1:04 to go in the second period. It is a 1-1 game late in the second period. Will we see any more scoring as we head into the second intermission, or will we be deadlocked at 1 as we head into the third frame? The money line for the Wranglers is out there with the Ivey brothers and Jack McDonald on the left wing. Wranglers win it, get it to McDonald. He circles around, sharp angle shot goes through the crease, held in at the near point by Cooper. Back to McDonald, near side circle, back to Cooper at the line. Sends it towards the middle, nobody home but Brahmas, and they'll just sky it out to center ice where it's gloved down, and we get a whistle with 48.6 seconds to go in the second. Draw will come back down to the Brahmas zone. It'll be to the right of Rolov, so near side for you guys watching on NAHL TV. Hope everyone has got a nice snack and a drink of their choice. It looks like it's going to be one of those games that comes right down to the wire. Draw is won by Ben Ivey. Jack Ivey to the line. Gagnon winds, fires, deflected wide. And we get a whistle here with 42.5 seconds to go in the second. Good puck movement by the Wranglers off that draw. They're able to work it around, get it to Gagnon, who was home alone, just fired away. And the Wranglers got the tip out in front, just couldn't get it on net. And it seems like one of those days where that's how you're going to beat the Latvian netminder for the Brahmas, Dives Rolovs. He's had an excellent start to tonight and an excellent start to the season. Off the draw, Brahmas steal it away, exit their own zone. Matthias Borak will dump it in. Chasing after it is Charlie Masick. Stolen away from him by Ben Ivey, who moves right side to Jack Ivey at the red line. Stolen away from him, Brahmas will dump it in. 22 seconds to go in the second period. Wranglers looking for one last gasp on offense. Left side, Jack Ivey on his backhand, trying to move to his forehand. Goes around the net, centering attempt. Finds Zadranyuk as the Brahmas are able to steal it away with 8 seconds to go in the second period. Pass up ahead for James at the red line, dumps it in. Comes in on McDonough, and he'll sweep it away as the horn sounds. And that'll do it for the second period.
That's the end of the second period.
It's the Wranglers won and the Brahmas won after 40 minutes of play. Talk all about it, recap the scoring, and look at some scores from around the league on the second intermission report, which is coming up next on NAHL TV and our YouTube audio feed.
Your Lone Star Brahmas had 10 shots on goal for a two-period total of 21.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX Sports Centre, where it's the Wranglers 1 and the Brahmas 1 after 40 minutes of play. Scoreless first period. We get 2 goals, 1 on both sides in the second period, and that's where we stand. As in the first period, just had a few penalties. Neither team was able to capitalize on the power play. We did see a fight between Alex Keskintepi and Ben Ivey late in the first period. Both players got 5 minutes for fighting, and I believe what was a 10-minute misconduct. Both have since returned to the game. Jack Ivey took a big hit on the near side boards. Ben Ivey took big offense to that. It was Keskintepi who threw the hit, so Ivey comes out and challenges him. Gets him in a fight, gets a few good punches in, drags him down to the ice. They both go, and so they've both since returned to the game. And that was probably the biggest moment in the first period. With some 4-on-4 action to start the second period because of some penalties that occurred, some roughing penalties that occurred at the end of the first period. So because of that, we started the second period 4-on-4. I thought that the open ice might benefit the Wranglers. Turned out it benefited the Brahmas. 20 seconds into the period, Brock James gets his second goal of the season from David Skurovich and number 55, Ray Murakami. So that made a 1-0 game for the Brahmas. Wranglers had a few more cracks on the power play, unable to get it past Rolovs on the man advantage. They're 0 for 3 so far in this game. Then the Wranglers thought they had a goal with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock. Rolovs turns the puck over from behind his own net, comes to zap at the near half wall. He flings the puck on net, glances off the skate of Luke Morris out in front for a tap-in goal. Goal was disallowed for reasons that I'm still not quite sure of. But nonetheless, the goal was disallowed. Still a 1-0 game, and the Wranglers, they were resilient. They fought back. They were not going to let that play drain their momentum and sink their spirits. Just 8 seconds later, Jack Ivey continues his goal streak to 6 games, getting his 7th goal of the season from Ben Ivey and Jack McDonald. It was one of those plays where Ben Ivey was moving in with speed, was able to get it out in front of the goal, lost the puck on a stick, came to Jack, and he was able to fire it home and beat Rolovs to make it a 1-1 game. And that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play here at NYTEX. Low-scoring affair. Predicted that might be the case coming in. Seems like that's what we've got. And we're in the territory where next goal might be the game winner. And so if you're Ryan Anderson and Dan Wildfong, the respected coaches on both sides, it's got to be the memo. I mean, both teams are playing a great defensive game. It's just who's going to get that next goal, and that could be it with the way the teams are playing defense here today. And what seems to be a coaching chess match between former associates Dan Wildfong and Wranglers head coach Ryan Anderson. Both guys are really familiar with what the other brings to the table, and as a result of that, we've seen a lot of plays where passes are getting broken up defensively. There's a lot of anticipation on both sides. First period felt like a feeling out process. There were some changes made in the second period. Saw only 2 goals so far in the game, which is a stark in contrast to what we saw against Corpus Christi last weekend, which featured just seemed like goals every time you blinked. This is a defensive stalemate, and third period may not be enough. This one could be headed to overtime if things stay the same, but we've got a long way to go until then. 20 minutes to go in regulation. I think for the Wranglers, they were at their best when they were moving with speed and they were putting pucks on goal. Wranglers ended the first period with 11 shots on goal. They end the second period with just 13 on the board. So, excuse me, I got my wires crossed. They ended with 8 shots on goal. Now they've got 13. So they've got 5 shots on goal in the second period. The Brahmas, on the other hand, took 10 shots in the second period. They've now upped their shot total, to 21 from 11 where they were at the first intermission. So the Wranglers, when they outshoot their opponent, they're 3-1. When they're outshot, they're 1-1. So the Wranglers are a team that really like to outshoot their opponent. They like to stuff their opponent in the offensive zone, stymie them at their own blue line, make things tough on them defensively, and just kind of suffocate them offensively. They're not really getting that, today, but nonetheless, they're still finding a way to put pucks on net and put pucks in the back of the goal, but we're going to have to do a better job of getting shots on goal and limit the scoring chances for the Brahmas in the third period. When we come back, we'll preview the third period a little bit more. We'll check in some scores from around the league and look at the South Division standings a little bit as it pertains to the action that's going on throughout the league tonight. We'll be back in just a bit on North American Hockey League TV and our YouTube audio stream.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to our second intermission report here from NYTEX Sports Centre, where the Brahmas and the Wranglers are tied at 1 after 40 minutes of play. Checking on some scores from around the league, as it's a busy night in the North American Hockey League. El Paso Rhinos take care of business against the Odessa Jackalopes. They are victorious. They win 4-1. Wranglers will see the Jackalopes next weekend. Some other South Division news. The Shreveport Mudbugs and the New Mexico Ice Wolves are nearing the end of their game. 3:21 to go in the third. New Mexico leads 5-3. Oklahoma is in Corpus Christi to take on the Ice Rays. The defending champs have a 3-1 lead over Corpus Christi at the top of the third period. And that rounds out the South Division in the action here tonight. So El Paso continues to add to their total. If they win here today, they'll have 13 points, and they'll be close to the top of the South Division. If you don't see someone else take 13 points as well, currently it's a 3-way tie. Make that a 4-way tie. So New Mexico wins and El Paso wins. Beg your pardon, El Paso actually has 10 points. So New Mexico, if they win tonight, they will have possession of the first seed in the South Division at 13 points, and El Paso will be right behind them with 12 points. So, and if the Brahmas win, then they would have the tie for first as well. So, crowded South Division. Still really too early in the season to tell what's up with all that, but it's one of those things where you just kind of keep an eye on it from time to time. You can kind of tell who's popping off in the division right now, who's not. Right now, it seems like there's a lot of really good teams in the South, and it's going to be a battle to see who makes the playoffs. Only 4 teams out of 9 will qualify for the postseason in the division, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, and you can catch all the action on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream all season long, so make sure you're here for that. When we come back, we'll look forward to the third period a little bit more, and we'll have third period action in just moments. You're listening to Wranglers Hockey on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back. We are just moments away from third period action here at NYTEX Sports Centre. Guy Chiarenza here to bring you all the action here tonight between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. 1-1 game. Both goals were scored in the second period. It was Brock James first for the Brahmas, making it 1-0 Lone Star. Then 6:10 to go in the second period. Jack Ivey continues to put goals in the back of the net. He gets his 7th goal of the season from Ben Ivey and Jack McDonald. So the money line continues to make deposits to the bank, and the Wranglers were able to tie the game up at 1. So third period in store here. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We've talked about it all night long, the chess match between Ryan Anderson, Dan Wildfong. It's one of those stories where all you can do is just marvel at how each guy has gotten their team to buy into the system and style of play. It's eerily similar the way that these two teams approach the game and play the game. Of course, Ryan Anderson spent some time behind the bench with Dan Wildfong as associate coach of the Lone Star Brahmas before taking the role as Wranglers head coach. So now it's his team, it's his moment, his time to shine. Will Anderson spoil the party here at NYTEX for the Brahmas, or will Lone Star ruin the homecoming? We'll see, as puck drop is just moments away here for the third period. I'd like to welcome everybody here on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream. We are aware that there may be some technical difficulties here this evening. We are hopefully getting those sorted out as we speak. We do apologize for those. And again, it is a new season, a new system here with North American Hockey League TV. It's still got some kinks to be worked out with, and so we appreciate all of your patience and all your support as we work through these minor issues to start the season. So Connor McDonough has been fantastic. He has stopped 20 of 21. He's been phenomenal. On the other side of the net, it's Deves Rolovs, who has stopped 12 of 13. Wranglers skidding from left to right, Brahmas from right to left. Off the draw, Borak splits the D. He moves in, takes a shot that just whistles wide of McDonough. Masick. Move it to Murakami. McDonald over the red line, tries to split the D. Breaking that up was Eisenberg. He'll backhand the puck up ahead, stolen away by Jack Ivey. He'll twist and send it further. Behind the net it goes. It's picked up by Eisenberg. On his backhand, he can't get it out. Glove down by Jack Ivey. His shot goes wide. Unable to hold it in at the point was Ben. Wranglers just dump it in. Beating in at the line is McDonald applying the forecheck. Teams trading possession to start the third period. Puck goes up and out of the playing surface into the netting, and so we get a stoppage. 51 seconds into the third. Well, if you like goals, then last weekend's matchup against Corpus Christi, that was the one for you. If you're a fan of a good defensive battle, this right here is right up your alley. 1-1 game, top of the third period. We'll see what's in store. It's got that feeling of the next goal might be the game winner. Only time will tell. Corson McGuire will take the draw at center ice for the Wranglers. Lone Star comes away with the puck. James goes down. Fans want a penalty. They're not going to get it. Puck goes around to the near side. Skurvek will send it below the goal line. Pass out in front. Comes to Eisenberg. Takes a shot. Make that Williams. That goes wide. Centering pass goes off McDonough to the left side. Puikkonen backtracks. James applying the pressure from the forecheck. DeMarco finds Cooper. Wranglers escape their own zone. In front of the benches, Wranglers looking to plan an offensive breakout. McGuire will just dump it in. He's due for a change. Over the red line now is Skurovic. He'll move towards his left. He'll dump it in, goes to the near corner. Meeting it is Doherty. He'll play it along for McNaughton. He'll work it up ahead looking for Puikkonen. He chops it to the center ice logo where it'll be picked up by Atiri. Brahmas dump it in. Doherty the first one on it. Loses the puck behind his own goal line. Centering attempt goes to no one for the Brahmas. Picked up by Puikkonen. Moves it up to Morris at center ice. Crunch along the boards from McNaughton on Kerr. Wranglers unable to gain possession. The puck rolls to Rolovs. He'll keep the play moving. Gets it to Emmons. He loses an edge, but not before he finds Capello at center ice. Right side. Atiri takes a shot. Save made by McDonough. Make that Kerr. 17:43 to go in the third period. If that's not enough, then we will have 3-on-3 overtime. And if that isn't enough, then we'll go to a 3-man shootout. But that is all just speculation at this point. We still got plenty of time to go in regulation. Leaning in to take the draw is Ben Ivey, that money line back out there for the Wranglers. The defensive pairing of Gagnon and Cooper. Wranglers dumping in out to play it is Rolovs. Brahmas sky it back out to the neutral zone. Glove down by Jack Ivey. Move up ahead for Ben. Stymied at the blue line. Good defensive play by Ingles. Stolen away from him though. Ivey takes a shot. Glove save by Rolovs. Good look for Ben Ivey there as he was drifting towards his left at the top of the circle. Took the shot, but Rolovs was ready for it. Seems like one of those nights where if Rolovs can see it, he's going to stop it. And the Latvian netminder has been sharp, as has Connor McDonough for the Wranglers. Good goaltending battle here tonight. Zapp will take the draw. Out there with him is Chunchikov and Phillips. Off the draw, Zapp gets it to the far point for DeMarco. Dancing around defenders, Kyle DeMarco works it into the far corner. Puck now below the goal line. Phillips tries to backhand it to the center, but he gets swarmed by a few Brahmas as Lone Star looks to exit their own zone. Amarillo holding it in. Far corner. Puck will roll to the near side for Keston Tepe. Dangerously moves between the circles, almost turns it over, but the Brahmas are able to weasel their way into the neutral zone, but not before Jeffries sends it back down below the goal line. Wranglers get a defensive change here. Hit along the far wall. As the Brahmas come away with the puck, they go D to D. Ingles finds Bergeron left side. He'll move towards center ice, go right side, looking for Pyle. Centering pass, shoot, they score! Sassenbury. A bang-bang play, pass below the goal line, centering, and Sassenbury was all alone. It's a 2-1 game. So the goal should go to Spencer Sassenbury. That will be his second goal of the season and his second point overall. For the Wranglers, that was just one of those plays where you can't let the Brahmas work below the goal line like that, and you can't leave Sassenbury open all alone between the circles. Went 5-hole on McDonough. Not much Connor could have done about it. And as a result, Brahmas have a 2-1 lead. Wranglers once again find themselves behind by a goal in this game. See if they can get it back. Off the draw, Miller gets it to Ganu. He will dump it softly into the Wranglers, or excuse me, the Brahmas zone. Puck comes back to him. Racing after it is Pyle. Gagnon is able to shrug off the pressure and work it up further. In the neutral zone, it comes to Atiri. Left side, streaking in, shoots. Save made by McDonald. Puck is loose. Swept back out to the line. Bergeron takes a shot, goes wide.
Time of the Brahma goal, 3:38 of the third period. Cassenberry from Pyle.
McGuire.
At 3:38 of the third period.
Hunter Bergeron picks up an assist on the goal as the Brahmas are looking for more. Wranglers get it back out to the neutral zone. Papasparopoulos evading a forecheck here as he's got a Brahma on his tail. Sends it to Morris at center ice. Moving left side, Morris shoots. Misses the net, goes to the near side corner. Picked up by Papasparopoulos to the line for DeMarco, whose shot goes over the glove of Rolovs and back out to center. Alex Papasparopoulos having a nice start to the season. Could be one of the players to watch out for Amarillo if they come back in this game. Brock James circles around in the neutral zone. Rushing off pressure, turns the puck over to McNaughton, but he lost his stick, so he couldn't go any further. Wranglers have to regroup here. Turnover, McDonald between the circles, left side, backhand shot goes wide. At the near side wall, DeMarco meets the puck, as do a few more Brahmas. Everybody wants a piece of the puck. Lone Star comes away with it. They'll swing it around to the far side. Right wing breakout. Skurtovich, left side. Tess skates below the circle. Centering pass. Shot by Skurtovich. Save made by McDonough. And he'll cover and hold. 14:31 to go in the third.
The Twin Peaks wings are the best with over a dozen flavor combinations. You can have them either boneless or OG style with the bone in. If you're looking for a flavor suggest, how about the bourbon teriyaki wings from Twin Peaks?
Draw will be to the right of McDonough. Ben Ivey in the neutral zone will send it to his right, looking for Jack. Glances off a stick, comes to Keskintepi. He'll go behind his own net and move through the neutral zone on the right side. Keskintepi tries to center it for Borak, broken up by Ben Ivey. Colin Doherty with the puck now. Sends it left side. Trying to hold it at the line is Keskintepi, and for the moment he does, but possession will go to the Wranglers, and they will now move out of their own zone. McDonald shiftily moves between a few Brahmas before they poke it away from him. Doherty racing after the puck. Gets pinned up against the Brahmas bench. Jack Ivey catches the puck in his skates. He'll dump it into the Brahmas zone. 13:38 to go in the third. Cooper goes D to D for DeMarco. Wranglers are able to work it over the Brahma line. Miller unable to pull the trigger. Sees the puck roll back out to the neutral zone. DeMarco will bank it harshly off the far side boards. The Brahmas are able to pick up the puck here. It's bouncing around in Lone Star territory. They'll now send it down the length of the ice. Out to play is McDonough. And we get an arm raised with 13:02 to go in the third period. Wranglers find themselves in some penalty trouble as Topi Puikkonen finds himself in the box at a critical moment in the game. 13:02 to go in the third period. Brahma's going to have a chance to extend their lead to 2 on the man advantage. Ben Ivey out there with Keskin Tepe to discuss what just happened with the head official. So if nothing changes, now they just put up 2 minutes to 17 here in the third period. So looks like Topi Puikkonen is going to get the penalty. And draw will come to the Wranglers zone, as it does with any penalty against Amarillo. It'll be to the right of Connor McDonough. Out there to kill the penalty are the Ivey brothers, DeMarco and Cooper. So now Jack McDonald heads to the penalty box. Zadranyuk will take the draw, gets it to Eisenberg. From the circle, takes a shot. Near side, moves to the half wall. Eisenberg finds Zadranyuk. Murakami at the line, goes near side. Eisenberg, centering attempt, misses the net. Near corner, DeMarco races after it. Attempts to get it out, unable to do so for the moment. Wranglers sweeping towards the puck. Can't get a stick on it. Zadranyuk at the half wall. Near circle. Bergeron shot goes off the side of the net. Eisenberg sends it to Zadranyuk. Centering attempt to Skurovic. Stopped by McDonough. Draw will be to the right of McDonough. Draw is won by Amarillo. Guyam banks it off the glass. Will send it down, killing some time off that power play for the Brahmas. 1:09 to go on the penalty to Topi Puikkonen. Right side, James drops back, finds Borak. He gains the blue line. Finds Bergeron near point, goes across for James. Aturi. Back to James, far circle, shoots, save made by McDonough. Rebound comes to the near circle, back to the line now for Atiri. Across, James shoots, blocked, puck up in the air, bouncing around, handled by Borak. Met at the half wall by Kerr. Bergeron will fish the puck away from him. Gets it to Borak, now back up near point for Atiri. Borak at the half wall, back to Atiri, across, far point. James fumbles the puck, has to regroup. Holds it in, though, at the line. Atiri. James, far point, skates in, shoots, scores! Brock James gets his second goal of the game, and it's now a 3-1 contest. With 11:18 to go in the third period, Brock James gets his second goal of the game to increase the Brahma lead to 2. And the comeback gets a lot tougher for the Wranglers. Shots on goal are now up to 29 for the Brahmas, 14 for the Wranglers. Wranglers had just 13 shots on the board coming into the third period. So if the shot count in the arena is correct, the Wranglers have only had one shot on goal so far in the third period. Critical moment in the game here. Hostile environment, the fans are getting loud. Lot of noise in the building. Wranglers now down by 2. How will they respond? They responded quite well after first goal from Brock James. Then they had a goal disallowed for them. So they thought they had it 1-1, then they didn't. Still 1-0, and then 8 seconds after that, they were able to rally back and score and tie at 1-1. Now they've seen the game kind of slip away from them a little bit here in the third period. Critical response coming up here. Off the draw. Brahmas win it. Keskintepi goes across. Brock James gets the goal. Thierry gets the goal, or excuse me, the assist. It's hard hitting the corner from Borak on Cooper. And it is a power play goal, so Brahmas are the only team to cash in on the man advantage so far this evening. Wranglers will clear the puck down, and that'll be an icing. Off the draw, puck goes to the far side. Lone Star wins the battle along the boards. Kerr gets slammed by DeMarco up on the far side. DeMarco steals the puck away, twists away from some pressure, banks it off the boards. Wranglers unable to get it out. Brahmas applying the heat here, try and center it, and it goes out of the Wranglers zone. Deep in enemy territory, Alex Papaspropoulos pinned up against the end boards, trying to fish that puck away. 4 Brahmas near him. He's able to poke it away to the far side corner. No Wranglers are home. They're in the middle of a change. Kerr gets slammed on the far side boards by Jeffries. Big hit there. James racing in. He's looking for the hat trick. He's got 2 goals in this game. Fans on this pass attempt from Skurovic. Shot from the circle, blocked by Jeffries. McGuire picks up the puck. He'll move over the red line, dump it in, and chase after it. Corson McGuire moving in. Brahmas steal the puck away. Wranglers hold it in at the line. Good play from Papaspropoulos, but Wranglers are able to get a partial change here as possession changes. Brahmas looking to emerge from their own zone. Wranglers making it difficult on them. Puck now at the red line. Wranglers are able to stuff that too. Left side, Atiri finds Tess. He gets slammed along the boards by Gagnon. Wranglers applying the physicality here late in the third. 8:44 to go in period 3. Brahmas lead 3-1. Keskintepi goes D to D in his own zone, finds Atiri. Drop pass for Keskintepi, moves back towards his right. Sassenbury will dump it in. He had the second Brahmas goal. As players collide on the far half wall in the Wrangler zone. Bergeron tips the puck to Pyle, who will go around to the near side. Defending him is Gagnon. Below the goal line now, Pyle once again racing after it. McNaughton's able to steal it away from him. We'll find Zapp up ahead. Stolen away from him, though, by Sassenberry. Shot from the line by Keston-Tepe. Save made by McDonough. Rebound comes to Zavernyuk. Left side, he shoots. Save made by McDonough. Rebound comes to Gagnon, and the Wranglers will clear. It'll be an icing call, though. So tired bodies will have to stay out on the ice, and it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Brahmas. We apologize to those who are listening on NAHL TV. We are having some audio issues here this evening. We ask for your patience as we try and resolve it as quickly as we can. It's the Brahmas 3 and the Wranglers 1 with 7:45 to go in the third period. Stick around to see how this one ends when we come back from the break.
This is Colin Doherty, and you're listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back, Guy Chiarenza here, bringing you the action here from NYTEX Sports Centre. Brahmas have a 2-goal lead. They lead 3-1 with 7:45 to go in the third period. One thing I know about the Wranglers is you can never count them out. They always seem to have a trick or two up their sleeve. We'll see what they can do in the final 7:40 of regulation. Cooper tries to go diagonally to Ivey. He gets the puck stolen away from him by Ingles. Puck off the inboards, comes to Borak. He'll chip it out to center. Puck is met at the red line by McDonald. Tries to move it up ahead for Jack Ivey. Defensive stick gets in the way of that. Chopping at it is Ben. Possession goes to the Brahmas as they will just patiently work the puck around in their own zone. They've got all the time in the world. Wranglers down by 2. DeMarco over the red line. Banks it off the inboards. Keston-Tepe, the first one on it for Lone Star, as he will chip the puck up and out of play and into the penalty box. So we get a stoppage with 6:59 to go in the third period. So, low-scoring affair, but figured that might be the case coming in. Wranglers are going to need at least 3 more to win it. As I said in the first period, it could be a race to 3. Well, Brahmas have got 3. It's a tough, well-oiled defensive unit that the Brahmas employ. It'll be tough for the Wranglers to crack, but we'll see what they can do here. Off the draw, Brahmas win it in their own zone. Near corner, James will scoop up the puck. Unable to get it out. Millard racing after it to the far side, goes into the corner, and now below the goal line. Players meet at the end wall. Papaspropoulos fishes the puck away, but his attempt to get it to the blue line is picked off by Bergeron. James moves over the blue line, but he's off sides. And so we get a stoppage with 6:29 to go, and tempers really start to flare. You got a convergence of players at the blue line after the whistle blew. If you're the Wranglers right now, you don't want to take a penalty. You don't want to lose your cool, so to speak. You can't take a penalty at this point in the game. Now, if you want to draw a penalty and try and send a Lone Star Brahma to the box, that's advised. A penalty, a power play would be good for the Wranglers at this point in the game, but those scuffles are always kind of dicey because it's just sometimes the official sees something from a certain angle, and next thing you know, you're going to the penalty box. Looks like the Wranglers have called their timeout. Look at the stoppage there. We're going to keep you here on NHL TV and our YouTube audio feed. Thank you for sticking with us here this evening to catch the Wranglers and the Brahmas. We'll be back here again tomorrow night, same time, 7:15 pregame show, 7:30 puck drop. Should be a fun matchup once again between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. And then afterwards, the Wranglers will head back home. They'll be at the Budweiser bullpen on the 13th and 14th to take on the Odessa Jackalopes. And I got to tell you what, if you're in the Amarillo Wranglers, if you're in the Amarillo area and you're just planning on listening to me on YouTube or listening and watching on NHL TV, I would strongly recommend that as much as I like having you here on my stream, I would strongly recommend that you get a ticket to either Friday or Saturday night's game, because Friday night will be Pink in the Rink night, where we will be supporting awareness for cancers of all causes as we look to find a cure in the battle against cancer. Wranglers will be wearing pink jerseys, and on Friday night, the Wranglers will be wearing their Barbie-themed specialty jerseys. Yeah, that's right, a Barbie-themed specialty jersey. It's as crazy as it sounds. You got to be in person to see it, and you'll be able to bid on those jerseys. They'll be up for auction after the conclusion of the game. So you're going to want to be there for that. Lots of concourse activities. It's going to be a ton of fun. Off the draw, the Wranglers work it out to center ice. McDonald twists around at the red line, finds Morris streaking in right side. He shoots. Save made by Rolovs. He'll direct it below the goal line. Right point now. Gagnon's unable to hold it in. Delayed offside on the Wranglers. They'll have to regroup as time is ticking away. 6 minutes to go in the third. At the line, Morris holds it in, gets it to Zapp. Moving towards his left. Circles around. Gets it to Gagnon at the near point. Pulls the trigger. Blocked out in front. Comes to Zapp. Back to Gagnon. Take a shot. Again, hits the stick of Capello and goes below the goal line. Far side, Wranglers keep it in. Shot from the line. Goes right into the glove of Rolovs. Good look there from Colin Doherty as he looks up into the rafters, thinking of, oh, what could have been. Just wasn't enough to beat the Lafayette netminder. .5:37 to go in the third period. Brahmas lead 3-1. Shots on goal are 31-16 in favor of the Brahmas. Draw will be at the far circle to the right of Rolovs. Wranglers unable to hold it at the line. Racing past Cooper is Masick. Unable to get by DeMarco, though. Excellent defensive play from Kyle DeMarco. Puck comes to the near side, out to the neutral zone. Scooping it up is Ingles. Goes diagonally looking for Zadranyuk. Has the puck glance off his stick. It's picked up by Ben Ivey at the center ice logo. Wranglers will tip it in to the offensive zone. Puck is met at the half wall by Wranglers and Brahmas alike. Coming in with the puck is Jack Ivey. Goes to the line. Far side. Cooper shoots. Save made. Rebound is loose. Puck is in the back of the net. They score. The Wranglers somehow find a way to beat Rolovs. It's a one-goal game with 4:58 to go in the third period. Unbelievable. Figure the Wranglers might have a trick or two up their sleeve. And there it is. So Jack Ivey was the first one to go to the bench. Wait the official word here, but if that was any indicator, it looks like goal might go to Jack Ivey. We'll wait the official announcement. Wranglers within one, 4:55 to go in the third period.
The assist from number 8, Bryce Cooper. Time of the Amarillo goal, 15:02 of the third period.
So, goal is going to go to Jack Ivey. And the assist, the only assist, goes to Bryce Cooper. So Wranglers pull within one. See if they got any more tricks up their sleeve. Papaspropoulos works over the blue line. Looking for McGuire. Play is cut off by Murakami, held in at the line by Gagnon. He'll spin it in deep, goes around to the far corner. met by Emmons. Wranglers steal the puck away. Miller gets it to the line. Shot by Doherty, blocked. Collin gets it back. He'll dump it below the goal line. Racing after it is Miller. Tries to get around Emmons, unable to do so. Held at the line by Doherty. He'll backhand it deep to the corner. Far side, Murakami has it. And this time the Brahmas are able to get it back out to center ice. 3:47 to go in the third. Wranglers once again dump the puck in. Murakami, first one on it, has time. Will dish it to Bergeron. He starts a right wing breakout, looking for Sassenberry up ahead. Puck goes by him, and it'll be an icing. So an offensive zone draw here for the Wranglers with 3:32 to go. So that Jack Ivey goal is not only his second goal of the game, it also brings the Wranglers to within one goal. So now you have to figure, Ryan Anderson has already used his timeout. If the Wranglers don't score soon, when could we possibly see Connor McDonald leave the net for the extra attacker? He's still in there right now. We'll keep an eye on him. Draw will be in the far circle. Ivey will take the draw against Bergeron. Ben Ivey off the draw, gets the puck, gets caught up in his skates, gets directed to the corner by Bergeron. Brahmas have the puck on their sticks. They get it stolen away. Good play by McDonald on the forecheck. Brahmas get it back. Emmons banks it off the wall on the near side, and it goes down to the Wranglers zone, and we get another icing. 3:12 to go in the third. And there goes Connor McDonald. So the Wranglers now have 6 skaters out with 3:12 to go. Net empty. Ryan Anderson is going for broke. He's going to gamble here. 6 on 5. Do the Wranglers have another miracle left in them? Looks like we've got another timeout. The Brahmas use their one and only timeout. Dan Wildfong wants to talk things over with his squad after back-to-back icings. So we'll keep it here on our YouTube audio stream and NAHL TV. We appreciate you all for tuning in, and had a feeling this one might come down to the wire. Here it is, 3:12 to go in the third period. Wranglers going for broke. Net is empty. They're cashing in all the chips. They're going to try and see if they can get this thing tied up here late in the third period. Opening the scoring at the top of the second, 4-on-4 was Brock James. That made it 1-0, and then 6:18 to go in the second period. Wranglers thought they had a goal. They didn't. It got disallowed. Just it's okay because 8 seconds later, Jack Ivey got on the board, extending his goal streak to 6 games, making it a 1-1 game. And then here in the third period, Lone Star broke away, got goals from Sassenberry and James later on the power play to make it 3-1. But most recently, with 4:58 to go in the third period, Jack Ivey gets his second of the game and eighth of the year to make it a 3-2 game. So that's the summary so far. High drama here in Brahmaland, and it's not over yet. Draw will be at the far circle. Ivey brothers out there. McDonald at the half wall. Gets it to the line for Gagnon. And he isn't able to hold it in. Oh, he thought he had it for a second, but the eagle-eye linesman is quick to flag the play down. Wranglers are offside. 3:07 to go in the third. Brahmas lead 3-2. And because of that, the Wranglers will put Connor McDonald back in the net. So we're back to 5-on-5 action, although McDonald's going to hang out between the circles. As once the Wranglers get possession, I imagine that he will go racing back towards the Wranglers bench. Off the draw, Brahmas have it. McDonald retreats back towards his net. Masick, right side. Fans on the shot attempt. Good defensive stick by Papaspropoulos. Wranglers have possession now. Right side breakout. Alex will move over the line and dump it in, and there goes McDonald. We're back to 6-on-5. Rolov's going for the empty net. Glove down by Gagnon at the line. Papaspropoulos DeGagnon at the point, goes across. Ivey, DeGagnon at the line, shoots, blocked. Comes to the far side. Brahmas get it out, they send it towards the empty net, and they miss. That's going to be an icing with 2:27 to go in the third. Well, Deeves Roloffs had a chance to take a crack at the open net, and he did. And Nolan Gagnon was able to flag it down at the blue line. A dicey move from the Brahmas netminder. He really wanted that goalie goal. So, Ivey brothers out there, McGuire, McDonald, Papastropoulos, and Gagnon are the 6 skaters out there for the Wranglers. Off the draw. Tied up here. Coming in with the puck is it Chiarenza, and he will send it down the length of the ice. Wranglers will once again win the race. They score. They waved off the icing, and the Brahmas score. And the Wranglers are not happy. They thought that they won that icing call, which is why they held up. Puck went off the end boards out into the blue paint, and the Brahmas put it home for the empty net goal. And scoreboard says 4-2. I mean, the Wranglers had won the race. They had beat out the icing call. So, like, by all means, it should have been an icing. And I see what the Wranglers' point is here, but as it stands right now, 4-2 Brahma lead, and they call it a good goal. So, it's now a 2-goal lead again for the Brahmas, with 2:16 to go in the third. And the Wranglers are not happy at all. Now Ryan Anderson would like a word with the head official. He's unclear as to why that icing was waved off, and I still am not, I'm not quite sure either, if I'm being honest, but that's the call on the ice. They call it a good goal. And yeah, Ryan Anderson's not very happy. So, I think the Wranglers might be getting assessed a bench minor here. So with 2:16 to go in the third period, Brahmas have a 2-goal lead. That goal really dashing the hopes of the Wranglers coming back in this game, although there is still some time. So yeah, it is going to be a bench minor on the Wranglers. Alex Papastropoulos will serve it. So now comeback looks a little more, instead of like maybe a small hill, now it's a big mountain to climb. Now shorthanded, down by 2 for pretty much the remainder of the game. So barring a miracle here, the Brahmas are going to come away with a win. They're going to improve to 6-4-0-1, and the Wranglers will fall to 4-3-0 on the year. Tempers flared, lots of drama here. We'll do it again tomorrow. 7:15 pregame show, 7:30 puck drop. You can catch it all on NAHL TV or listen to it live on our YouTube audio stream.
His third of the season and third of the game. Scored by number 23, Brock James.
So they're going to give the empty net goal to Brock James, so that does give him the hat trick for the night. Atiri gets the assist.
17:44 of the third period. That's Jones from Altier at 17:44.
And it'll come 17:44 into the third period. So now Brahma goes down in the corner. It's Atiri. And the players bump into Rolov's. Arm is raised, and now just everything is breaking loose. A minute 37 to go in the third period. Wranglers got to be careful here to not lose their cool. At this point, it's just on to the next. We'll get them next time. Wranglers are going to get called for a penalty in the corner anyway, which is why Rolovs was skating out of the net, and he bumped into a Wranglers player that was between the circles. Now the officials come together, and I'm going to make a call here. Now Jack Ivey goes to the box, so when it rains, it pours. It's now a 5-on-3 situation for the Brahmas in the late stages of the game. Lone Star with the 2-goal lead, 4-2, minute 37 to go in the game. Brahmas now with a 5-on-3 opportunity. They lead the shot count 32-19. Good defensive game from really both sides up until late in the third period, where the Brahmas kind of broke away. Wranglers were trying to climb back into it. They almost did, and then you had the controversial call with the icing that led to the fourth Lone Star goal on the empty netter. Either way, the Wranglers are going to have to find a way to regroup and come back here tomorrow night as they look to get back into the win column. Brahmas win the draw. Left side point, Atiri. He will just patiently wait. Does the gentlemanly thing to do. Not going to try and score here. He'll just send it D to D. He goes to Murakami, who will send it back to Atiri. Brahmas just killing out the clock here. Minute 15 to go in the game. They just continue to go D to D. Now they're working to the half wall, and now back to the far point. Murakami fakes a shot. Back to the half wall for Bergeron. Back far point for Murakami. Now near side, Atiri. Murakami. Atiri, he'll skate in. Up, back to Murakami at the point. Half ball, Bergeron. Murakami at the line, fakes a shot. 51 seconds to go in the game. Atiri skates to the circle, down low. Zadvernyuk, back to Atiri. At the line, it's Murakami. Back to the circle for Bergeron. Atiri, near circle. Sends a pass through the crease, goes to the skates of Kerr, held in at the line, and now back out to center. 27 seconds to go in the game. 8 seconds to go on the bench minor penalty. Zadvernyuk skates it over the blue line, tries to go around Wranglers, and they do, unable to get the shot away. Puck goes back out to center ice. It'll come down to Rolovs as time will expire. Or I guess they stop it with a minute 5. Or a second 5 on the clock. So I think it's safe to say that there's a rivalry brewing between these two teams. A lot of bad blood. Rolovs has pulled an Igor Shesterkin and is waving goodbye to the Wranglers as this game is all but over. So with a second and a half on the clock, gonna hand out a penalty or two here, and perhaps they may just let the time wind off. they may make everybody do another draw. We'll see what happens here. Either way, Brahmas are going to win 4-2 here. Both Wranglers goals were scored by Jack Ivey. Brock James has 3 in tonight's contest. He gets the hat trick. And the other Lone Star goal came courtesy of Spencer Sassenbury. We'll be back here tomorrow night, NYTEX Sports Centre, Wranglers and the Brahmas. A lot of bad blood between these two teams. We saw it here tonight, and we'll see it again most certainly tomorrow as the Wranglers look to get a 1-1 split headed back home, as they will fall here tonight 4-2 to the Lone Star Brahmas. Brahmas, as I just mentioned before, will improve to 6-4-0-1. They'll go to 13 points, be among the leaders of the South Division. Wranglers will be stuck at 8 points. They'll go to 4-3 on the year. But I think for the Wranglers in this game, it's important not to panic. Still very early in the season. As they're still handing out some more penalties. Not like it really matters at this point. With a minute, or excuse me, with a second and a half on the clock. I think the Wranglers, the important thing is just not to panic here. I mean, it's still very early in the season. This is a team that is going to experience some growing pains. They're going to have to find a way to rebound after this loss, and it's a hostile environment here. I mean, to put this into perspective, the Wranglers played their games at the Showcase, which was neutral zone. I mean, that was a neutral site game, if you will. Then they come back home, they play Corpus Christi. This is really the first time that this young team has been exposed to a harsh, hostile environment like NYTEX. And so now they've gotten a taste for it. Now they got a game here under their belts. Now they know what to expect. I think they're going to have a better go at it tomorrow. But for the Wranglers, just take the good from the bad. Understand where the teaching moments are, if there are any. And regroup, get rested, and come right back here again tomorrow for what should be a bloodbath of a battle between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. Might as well launch us into our Wranglers postgame show, as it's taken quite a while.
2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So Jack Ivey gets 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Lone Star Brahmas penalty, call number 6, Auntie Artier. 5 minutes for steering and a 10.
Artier gets 5 minutes for. Artier gets 5 minutes for spearing. And off the draw, that'll do it. Brahmas win 4-2. Wranglers will be right back here again tomorrow night as they look to even up the set 1-1 with the Brahmas as they fall here today by the score of 4-2. Wranglers postgame show starts now. Hi everybody, I'm Guy Chiarenza. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Of course, the Wranglers do fall 4-2 to the Lone Star Brahmas. And as I said before, this is really just one of those games where the environment did not go in the Wranglers' favor. This is their first time being on the road against a South Division opponent this year. Tough environment. Brahmas fans made it difficult for them. Obviously, Dan Wildfong and Ryan Anderson have the history together, and they battled here on the ice, but off the ice, they are friends. But we'll have to see what tomorrow holds for the Wranglers. It's just one of those games where you take the teaching moments, you learn from it, and you move on. It'll be a quick turnaround as they'll be back in action tomorrow night. 7:15 puck drop, 7:30, or excuse me, 7:15 pregame show, 7:30 puck drop You catch all the action here on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream. Let's quickly recap the scoring. Started out with a scoreless first period. We saw Ben Ivey get in a fight with Alex Keskentepi. Both would later on return in the game after serving some misconducts. But what got the scoring started was 20 seconds into the second period on a 4-on-4 situation. Brock James gets his second goal of the year from David Skurvek and number 55, Ray Murakami. The Wranglers then thought they'd even up the game. 6:18 to go in the second period. A goal from Luke Morris, but goal was disallowed, but that's okay for the Wranglers because 8 seconds later, they were able to get it back. Jack Ivey extends his goal-scoring streak to 6 games. Picks up his 7th goal of the year, coming from his brother Ben and Jack McDonald. So the money line cashes in again for the Wranglers. In the third period, we were 1-1, and the Brahmas broke away. 16:22 to go on the clock. Spencer Sassenberry from a feed below the goal line from Connor Bergeron makes it 2-1 Brahmas. And then on the power play, 11:18 to go in the third, Brock James gets his second of the night. The assist going to Antti Atiri. And that made it a 3-1 Brahmas game. The Wranglers had one more trick up their sleeve. They were able to score with 4:58 to go in the third period. Jack Ivey once again gets the goal from Bryce Cooper. That made it 3-2, but controversial call late in the game. Icing that was waved off. Wranglers had beaten the puck as the arm was raised. Wranglers thought it was an icing call. They won the race. Puck comes out to the blue paint. Whistle doesn't blow. Brock James puts it home. Eventually gets the third goal to complete the hat trick for him. 4th goal on the board for the Brahmas. And that was the final goal scored in the game, giving us a score of 4-2. So Wranglers weren't happy after that. Tempers flared. We got some fighting, some scuffles. A lot of stuff for the league to work out penalty-wise. But what we do know for sure is that it's going to be a fun and interesting game tomorrow evening, right here on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream. 7:15 pregame show, 7:30 puck drop. We'll have it all here for you, and I'll be calling the action for you guys. It was a fun battle. Wranglers fought hard, as they always do, to the final whistle, but just weren't able to come away here with a win against the Brahmas, and you got to give credit to both coaches. They implemented a strong and sturdy defensive game plan into this game, and in the end, it was Dan Wildfong, the bench boss of the Lone Star Brahmas, that was able to win the Anderson Wildfong Bowl. The first game, first ever meeting in the regular season between those two former associates behind the Brahmas bench. They're now enemies, as Ryan Anderson is with the Wranglers, and Wildfong is the bench boss of the Brahmas. Wildfong takes game 1. Brahmas get the first of the 2-game series. But Wranglers did a lot of things well. They were able to, of course, get some more goals back from Jack Ivey. Power play looked good at times. It's just tough when you play such a defensive-minded team like the Lone Star Brahmas. You really got to give them credit. They are a fantastic defensive team, and they implemented their structure well. And not to say that the Wranglers didn't. It's just in the third period, the Brahmas were able to break away, and that's really what we saw against Corpus Christi as well in that 8-5 losses early on in that third period. The Ice Rays were able to just come away with a few goals, break the tie, and Wranglers really struggled to climb back into that game. We saw a little bit more fight from the Wranglers here in tonight's contest, but really the same story of Wranglers just weren't able to get that next goal to top off the period, the third period, and instead found themselves playing from behind late in the third period, which is something that you really don't want to do against a team like the Lone Star Brahmas. So it's a learning moment for the Wranglers. Very young team, very young season. It's only the Wranglers' 7th game of the year, and they'll look to bounce back tomorrow night here on NHL TV and our YouTube audio stream. Once again, 7:15 pregame show, 7:30 puck drop. I'm Guy Chiarenza. I'll have you the action for you here as Wranglers will look to get back in the win column tomorrow night against their rivals, the Lone Star Brahmas. Once again, the final score is 4-2 in favor of the Brahmas. Lone Star improves to 6-4-0-1. Then we have 13 points, and they'll move into a tie for first in the South Division. The Wranglers fall to 4-3. They're stuck at 8 points, and they'll look to tomorrow And as will I, and so should you. We'll see you right here tomorrow night. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying so long from NYTEX Sports Centre.